Hello and welcome to this week's Indie Showcase. Today we're playing the demo of a game called Beyond Our Rule Ripper. This is currently being kickstarted right now and they have reached their goal, so yay! But there is still, at the time of this video releasing, 1 week to go on the Kickstarter and they are aiming for stretch goals. So that is why I am playing this game this week, just in case anyone loves it. And then there is still time to back on Kickstarter if you would like. So, Beyond Our Rule Ripper. This is a visual novel. I believe it's a deaf game visual novel, which I am very, very fond of. I did play the Nonary game series on my channel, but more often than not, I actually usually play these kinds of games off stream. I've played a few others, or like at least demos, and dabbled in different ones. And I always just have a great time, so I was so interested to try this one out. Oh, Exit Corners as well is another one that I played on the channel. I'm so excited to try this out and see how it goes because, I don't know, I always have fun. They're always great. So, let's begin then. Enter. Oh, this is a beta demo created as a sample for the Kickstarter campaign, therefore its content is subject to change. So basically, they are now funded for the game to go ahead, and any stretch goals are like visual and to make the game aesthetically as interesting as they would like to make it. So it's so cool that they've managed to get funded, I love it. All shown character sprites are in their final version, but based on the money raised, more facial expressions and body variations will be made. Most of the music is official. The ones left are free licensed songs as placeholders marked with an asterisk. There's also a few unmarked classical pieces. Oh, okay. Cool. We'll know what that means then whenever we see it. Maybe there'll be like a playlist going on where we can see the names of the tunes. The majority of the current backgrounds are official, made in 3D, though some as only line arts for now. A few of them are free licensed photos that have been slightly edited. Line arts and placeholders will be marked as such at the top of the screen on their first appearance. So they're just trying to give people an idea of they've built the game, but they don't have the assets to put into the game just yet. But it still gives the overall feel of what the gameplay at least is going to be in the story. The map included in this demo is temporary and doesn't 100% coincide with the backgrounds made, as it was created before them as an outline. A new map will be produced with the 3D model once it is fully completed. Cool. Beware that while this whole demo has been tested, it's possible some mistake or bug got through and some couldn't be solved yet. This is still beta after all. Any constructive criticism, suggestions, help or bug reports are very welcome, be it through Twitter, Itch, the Discord server or Kickstarter. Thanks for downloading the demo and we hope you enjoy it. I'm excited, and with all that said, it's time to begin. Okay, so obviously there's not going to be voice acting. GJ Staff, that's right, this is developed by GJ Staff. I don't think I said that. Project Brr Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Don't cry, everything will be alright. Oh, why am I crying? Who said that? Sometimes it'll be tough, but nothing lasts forever. Oh. And that's why the good times also have to end. But we will meet again someday. Why is this so intense already? Remember, you are stronger than you think. I can't tell if this is a motivational speech or like a villain speech. Playing with my mind. Whoa. Heat overwhelmed my senses. I could feel the sweat on my body. The sun was witness to the scene, but it wasn't the only one responsible for that state. Because stronger than that heat, I felt pain. We're not on fire, are we? It didn't seem to have an end. I couldn't even remember its origin anymore. I wanted to stop it. No. I had to stop it. But the result remained the same. In my mind, those words appeared again. Words of support and hope that in that moment only hurt more. But even then, I couldn't forget them. They had too much value. I had already forgotten his face, his voice, his name. I didn't want to lose any more. So maybe they are from a lost loved one, those words that was saying at the start. Finally, it ended. I couldn't do anything, yet it ended anyways. That scene would repeat. It was inevitable, a cycle that changed each time while remaining identical. Though, was it really inevitable? It is then that I realize this is a dream. No, it's a recollection of the past that I wanted to leave behind. It's a nightmare. I had to go back to reality, to my new life. But what awaited me on the other side would make me regret waking up. Oh, so this person already has some drama in their life. So the burning thing was a nightmare. Was it emotionally burning, like grieving over this lost loved one? Oh, and most likely will something. Oh God, is it that bad? I am not in the position to judge, though in my humble opinion, maybe it is not. Well, I missed the entire beginning of that. God damn it. The lives of 10 people, 10 different worlds. Will they be the judge, the executioners, or the executed? Whatever the result may be, I will accept it. It's in their hands. I am only an observer. Loathe me. Wish my death. Destroy the imposed chains. And find the answer to this farce. Do that, and the true victory will be yours. No, your turn will come. But now, the hero makes his entrance. This is like so cinematic in its own way. It's really cool. His memories begin to dissipate, replaced by the darkness. And from that excuse me, darkness, a new reality occurred. And a new reality started to take form. The rhythmical vibrations of symbols, the smell of alcohol, faraway voices. And as he opened his eyes, a new light. And jazz. Smooth, smooth jazz. I think this is jazz. It might not be. Alright. We're in novel mode. Boy. I was gonna make a grunt, but I don't know if that would be that. Ugh. What? He surveyed his surroundings, trying to identify his location. What is this place? A violet and blue toned light covered the room, creating a nocturnal and cold feel. So yeah, we're in this bar, right? It's very fancy, actually. I kind of like it. Alluring, yet also slightly sinister, an illumination that fabricated a false darkness. Ooh, that's cool. The heavy air, charged with the smell of liqueur and traces of tobacco smoke, called for a drink. From the speakers played a melody adrift on the room's corners. An exchange between a fragile piano and a confident but subtle bass. Dissonant harmonies and irregular rhythms. Intimate, broken, and without a clear course. Oh, is that what this is? It's got some like... Is that a drum? A maraca? Something doing a beat. Okay. There was no doubt it was a bar, a high-class one. I was gonna say, this looks like a posh place. I bet that... Oh goodness, I'm sorry. My phone's just making noises. I bet that this is where the rich people go. Well, if it was... I guess if it was a functional bar and not a death game. I mean, maybe the rich people go there for that too, I don't know. Nearby his waking spot, an old man and a girl were sleeping on a sofa similar to his. Their faces completely foreign to him. An old man and a girl. Who are these? He didn't recognize those faces, and the same could be said for the place. Trying to look back through his hazy memories, recalling what he'd been doing before waking up, the only thing he could say for certain was that he hadn't gone to sleep. The last thing he remembered doing was getting back home. He arrived, and then blank. He couldn't remember. Not being able to reach an answer, his attention shifted back to those people. Did we get gassed out, like in other games? And knocked out and kidnapped, probably. He got up from the couch and slowly walked over to them. However, before he could get close, he heard a voice behind him. Hey, look, someone else got up. He turned his head and found a man on top of the nearby stairs. Some disdain could be felt in his expression. Disdain, I'm not sure what that means. Behind him, a few more people showed up, looking carefully at the boy. So I guess these have all woken up the same as we've just waken up. Distrust, intrigue, and some arched eyebrows were the group's reactions. He didn't know what to say. Instead of talking, he looked around again, confused. Come closer, come on. No, thank you. I'll stay. I'll keep some distance, thank you. I do like having personal space. With that said, the man turned around and went back with the others. Oh, just gone. Okay. Without giving it much thought, he went up the stairs, reaching a much bigger area. Is the bar. Not too far away, he saw the bar's counter with the group he'd seen sitting on it, plus a few more. He quickly went up to them. He didn't wait for a greeting. Questions were piling up on his mind and they needed to be let out. What's this place? What is this bar? Could somebody explain to me what's happening? Woman. First off, calm down, okay? Excuse me? It's just that... Yes, we know. We're all thinking the same. Just take a seat and try chilling for a bit. You're not the only one confused here. But I don't understand. Do none of you know why you're here? Bingo! Was that a click? Bewildered, he sat down on one of the stools. Those people's demeanor felt very strange to him. So here are some of the cast of colorful characters. Maybe, or maybe not, out to kill me? They seem calmed, or at least composed. Oh, because they've been drinking they've been drinking the whiskey and that, haven't they? However, looking more closely, he could tell some of them were tense. Ah, they're just putting on a face, a front. So if I understand this correctly, you all woke up here like I did? Exactly. A pretty lejoso place, don't you think? I don't know what that means. I guess, but... Before that, we should ask for his alias. Alias, my nickname. If you check inside your pockets, you should find a device like this one. The man on the other side of the counter showed him for a brief moment what seemed like a phone, for enough time for him to see the back. It was black with some letters he couldn't quite read. Try to turn it on, if you will. Following the man's instructions, he put his hand on his pocket, feeling for an object quite unfamiliar to him. I am not going to have enough voices to be able to try and give them all different voices. Taking it out, he confirmed it was the same phone the man had shown him. This time, he saw the back clearly, in which barman could be read. He pushed the only button it had and the screen turned on. Welcome to the Golden Jack. Your name is Billiards. Please touch the screen to proceed. Billiards? I think that's how you say that, right? What did you say? Billiards. Is that my alias? Billiards, eh? Seems like the theme continues. Theme? C. What is C? Is she a different language? Ooh, let me Google. So I've Googled it, and the first one that comes up is French, but it also seems to be a word in lots of different languages. But it says, is a French word, mainly corresponds to three little English words, if, so, and yes. So I'm imagining she's saying yes, yes. The next seem to have a shared theme. Okay, so presumably French? Is that why she's wearing a beret? Okay. Blonde reflections of her long hair and ashen blue on her eyes. On top of a counter, her legs are crossed and a glass in hand, the girl seemed unconcerned. Why are you so chill? It annoys me in these situations when people are so chill. Like, don't freak out, but also don't pretend nothing's wrong, you know? She intoned her words with the same leisure as the sip she was taking from the drink. I like a plot, though. All nicks seem to be things that could be in a bar like this one. I got lime. Okay, cool. Like an intro scene. Maybe because my jokes are as strong as citric acid. Oh, something. I don't know. That was not funny though, but citric acid is like acid, right? It's not sweet. It's not funny. It's, you know, harsh. That's what some say about my sense of humor anyways. Ah, you see. Lime like the one you add to a drink. And billiards. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty common game in places like these. Maybe it's not the best example, but trust me, you'll see it with the other nicks. Oh, wait a moment. Before that. What are these aliases for? How did we get here? That's what we all want to know too. But we know as much as you do. Then how did you know about this barman? Because they've been awake for longer than we have? It's quite simple actually. We've been up longer. That's it. As soon as a few of us woke up, it didn't take long for us to agree to use these nicknames. Just to be safe, you know? Exactly. Could be dangerous to give our real names, as nobody seems to know anyone so far. In other words, we're a group of strangers. Oh, hi. Billiards nodded, still trying to process the situation. And what is your name? He was certain he knew none of them and had no idea how he had got there. The situation was quite strange indeed. There was no doubt about hiding any personal information was a good idea, for the time being. While still surprised by how they seemed so calm with what was happening, now it made a bit more sense. He had no idea how long they'd been waiting for him to wake up, but they probably had enough time to calm down. And on that topic, I wonder how long it would take you to calm down in this situation. Like, probably at least 2 hours, right? I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. I would be up and down. I would be like calm and then not. And then calm and then absolutely not. Then the old man and the other girl. Then the old man and the other girl. They were sleeping next to you, right? The woman tried to remember with one hand on her chin and the other on the counter, while her dark and tired eyes faced the ceiling. Her long nails dyed red were tapping the counter, and in between the fingers lay half a consumed cigarette with lipstick marks on its tip. Yes, now that you mention them, I saw the old man before. They should be on the same boat as us, so we'll have to wait for them to wake up. I'm Cigar, by the way. Oh, Cigar looks sad. Like worried. Cigar, like a cigarette? Yes. Can't say I'm fond of the name. I know, like, you said it as if she chose it. But it's accurate. With the same tiredness as in her voice, she brought the lightest flame closer to the cigarette, fighting to stay ablaze. Was it a coincidence that, as a smoker, she'd be given that name? Highly unlikely, and that disturbed him further. Oh, maybe are the names going to give hints about their characters? Was the lime thing with the humour legit? What was ours billiards? Maybe we like to play games? Though, there was something else that got his attention. That cigarette and the lighter. Are those yours? Maybe it's just me, but the only thing in my pockets was this phone, so it seems weird to me that... Oh, no, it was the same for all of us when we woke up. I found the lighter on top of a cigarette machine, and the cigarette, well, you can take a guess. Was it in the cigarette machine? But if you didn't have any money, the key was in. Don't try to tell me stealing is wrong when, as far as I can tell, we're all here against our will. If the one responsible isn't the owner, I can pay them back later. That is very kind. Yeah, steal all of their shit. Drink all of their alcohol. Smoke all the cigarettes. Why not? I guess so. Sure. Okay, so cigar and lime then. What about the rest? The man that had called him earlier placed a nearly empty glass as there was some rum left on the counter. Rum, eh? He then searched through the pockets on his shirt and pants, once again showing they were empty. Shit. He closed his fist tightly and hit his leg to vent off his frustration. Had he forgotten they were emptied out? Had he not checked until then? Or had he done it out of habit? Fucking dependency. Can't even think straight. Bartender, pass me something strong. Don't care what it is. What is he looking for? Drugs? Right away, sir. So I think this man was already here, right? He's got to be part of it. Maybe. Cigar, pass me the smoke, pronto. You can get a new pack from the machine for free, like I did. Come on, Mom. If it's so free, why do you care? It's not like you'll use them all now, right? Oh, fine. Luckily there were 2 lighters. Take the other. I think we're gonna need those lighters. With a furrowed brow, Cigar extended her hand with the pack and lighter. As he grabbed one cigarette out and lit it, the man addressed Billiards. At first I thought he was asking for the cigarette that she was already smoking. I was like, well, just go and get your own, but I think he's just taken one from her back. That's fine. Poker. Oh. Are you a bluffer? Okay, I don't trust this guy. He's gotta be either a gambler, like in his decisions, even if it means life or death, right? Or he's gotta have a poker face. That means we can't trust them. Excuse me? It's my alias, boy. A pleasure. Hey! Poker is much cooler than lime. No way, Jose. So far, I would choose lime of all of them, I think. What is it? What's poker without some luck? What? As long as it's just luck and you aren't hiding any aces up your sleeves. I'm not one for cheating. Happy to hear. If we get the chance, it'd be nice to play against you. Absolutely. I never say no to a good challenge. Excuse me, but... Ah, my bad, my bad. I guess you would want to hear my alias, right? Yes, that'd be good. I'm Gin, as in gin tonic, not Jim. And also not as in genie. I don't do wishes. Gin, genie. I didn't get that muddled up, but okay. Gin. Okay. That works. I see. Gin is in the drink. The one made with juniper, right? Gin is already way too weird, dude. Don't make it worse calling me juniper. I didn't call you that. I think I was just making factual conversation. Sorry. It really is true what you were saying about the theming. It's all related to the bar. Can't complain too much though. At least there's lots of drinks. With a smile and waving an empty glass in the air, ice cubes resonating with the container, Jin put her keen sights on the man in the counter. Yeah, let's talk to the barman. Cocktail, hey. Get me another one. Right ahead. Because one of these people wouldn't just be wearing a bar outfit and then be behind the bar serving the drinks, right? Unless maybe they're just a bartender in real life. And their actual nickname is Cocktail. Billiards observed him and his mannerisms. Dry and stoic, responding politely to the others, seemingly used to serving drinks. The skill on his hands and control over the bottles were also quite remarkable. Wait, did you say a cocktail? Affirmative. Oh, okay, so you look too much like you belong here, dude. It's dangerous. Okay, affirmative. Cocktail is the alias I have received. Did he just get home from a shift at the bar and then wake up here for a shift at the bar? Seems like you're good at handling drinks. Indeed, I have some experience on the matter. I'd say it's more than just some. Why is this blue? Just because we were thinking it? If you are in need, I can make you any drink. I think I'm fine, thanks. Come on, don't be shy. It's in times like these where drinking is justified. What kind of drinks have we got here? I don't know enough about drinks. Something fruity, please. Or nothing, it could be poisoned. After all, alcohol fuels the flame inside our hearts. Oh, what? Oh, we don't know your name yet. Ignore him, he already sounds drunk. Nah, that's just how I roll. You need way more than this to waste me, I assure you. It's not a good idea to have more than one drink in this scenario Maybe you need it for courage or whatever, like 1. But drunk people are bad enough to be around in normal situations. Never mind this situation, you know? You can't get away from him if you're all stuck in a bar. Unless, okay. And you are... My pseudonym is Darts. Okay. Oh, he's thoughtful. The looks on the guy were quite curious. In fact, Billiards couldn't find the right words to describe him. While his eye bag showed weariness, his gaze was vibrant. Darts, alright. I find it very fitting, I have to say. Why is that? Why? Now's not the appropriate time to go into details. Maybe it's some other point. You're like a darts champion? Just tell me. Okay, so then it's cigar, lime, poker, gin, cocktail, and darts. His eyes suddenly sighted a 7th person that he hadn't noticed until then. You shouldn't be in here. You're too young. Go away. A kid of around 11 or 12 years was sitting on the stool behind Darts. He hadn't said a single word since he got there. Billiards leaned into the counter to get a better look at him. Their glances crossed for an instant. And you are... The boy gazed at Billiards briefly, seemingly judging him. And once he was done with his quick observation, lowered his face, clearly distrustful, and answered, Piano. Huh? My nickname's Piano. Oh, look at that smirk. Nah, I don't like this boy. I see. Is he okay? Looks angry. I don't understand. No, I don't understand if he was, after waking up here with no explanation. But we're not the ones he should be mad at. Well, to be fair, it makes sense for his age. Though I didn't act like that as a kid. Trying to be lenient, he decided to leave it at that. Someone else, however, thought differently. Uh-oh. You could try being a little more friendly, you know. No. Look at her face. Let's leave him alone. Billiards, hey. Billiardo. A hand touched his shoulder. Oh. What? Oh, right, I'm Billiards. Sorry, I haven't gotten used to that name yet. No pasa nada. You aren't alone. That sounds Spanish. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, don't you think your namey is just a tiny bit too longy? Actually, yeah. Now that you mention it, Billiards doesn't roll off the tongue too well. I'm just gonna go with Bill. Exactly. And so because of that, I hereby propose that you be renamed. Insert drum roll here. Bill. How's that? Almost sounds like a real name and everything. I mean, it is. But sure, sounds good, I guess. You can call me Bill. It's probably going to be much easier to get used to than Billiards. Great. And I, Lime, baptize you as Bill. Amen. The now called Bill then remembered the 2 people that hadn't awakened, the girl and the old man. By the way, shouldn't we check on the other 2? You mean the old guy? The group decided to get up and peek at the lower couch area where he'd woke up. The old man's head, was visible above the back of one of the couches. However, in front, where the girl should have been, was no one. Oh, she's up. You said there was a girl? I only see the grandpa. Bill went down the steps and up to the couches. The girl had indeed disappeared. Confused, he started to search around for any trace of her. The old man's eyebrows then began to move, while trying to open his eyes. Oh, welcome to the world. That's definitely what he sounded like when he woke up. Bill looked at him. The man put his hand on his nape and started to massage its tired muscles. He rubbed his eyelids and looked back at the bewildered boy. Finally, before talking, he licked his dry lips. Drinks! Please. I just imagine that's what he's gonna yell. Saint Peter, is it you? Oh. What? This is heaven. No. Imagine. Oh my god, that's really funny. He thought he's died. And heaven is a rich person's cocktail bar. That's funny as fuck. Okay. No. From the higher area, the rest of the group, paying attention to what was happening, started to murmur. Some laughs could be heard. The old man turned around to the origin of the noise. Wasn't expecting to find a bar up here. Better than expected. If you get to drink, that is. Unfortunately for us all, this doesn't seem to be a paradise whatsoever. Maybe it is. We could all be dead. This could be, like, the afterlife. We all just died at the same time. Estato, being a bar, is probably more like purgatory, if you know what I mean. Please, sir, come over here. We will try to explain as best as we can. The old man got up with some struggle and looked at Bill one more time before leaving with the rest. It was then that Bill remembered he hadn't found the girl yet. He turned his head toward the nearby tables, one of them sitting on a chair, examining a barman. Oh, the barman is the phone? Not cocktail. I thought that was the guy. What could that mean? Barman. Namrab. I'm trying to anagram this. Okay. Oh, there she is. Hey. Excuse me. Hi. Her eyes didn't react to the greeting. She kept staring at her barman's screen. Did she not hear me? Could she be deaf? Hello? Can you hear me? What do you want? Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me. With the suspicion of deafness out, Bill could only think of one other explanation for the lack of response. How about she's terrified? She isn't just ignoring me, is she? How dare! Oh, I see you also have a barman. You have an alias too, right? Mine is Bill. Well, actually it's Billiards. And yours? Coffee. Do you love caffeine? Okay. Hi, coffee. Coffee? Lime? Yo, Billy. My man, my dude, what's up? She's gonna get tiresome to me. Came to see what you were up to. I see you've got a new friend. Hey, Houston. Earth to Billman. Lime waved enthusiastically at Coffee, but she didn't get anything more than a slight head movement of unknown meaning in response. The others will want to meet her, so come with me to the counter and beyond. Andiamo. Okay, I don't know what any of these words mean. With that, Lime went back to the counter shouting, yes, you just go. Let's just stay here. Hey guys, it's coffee time. What's wrong with her? What do you fucking think is wrong with her? Why doesn't someone say, hi, we all woke up here just like you. We don't know what's going on. Let's figure it out together. Let's go? Without a word, the girl got up and headed to the counter. He did the same, following behind. What was the old man's alias? Did we get it? I don't think we got it. Well, that's our characters, right? Oh, you're correct. It turned on. See, my personal war with these gadgets has been long-standing, albeit this one is easy to use. Not long ago, I bought one of these mobile telephones, you know? I'm still learning, though you can't ask too much of somebody my age. Fascinating. Please stop your war stories and respond, geezer. What does it say on the screen? Let's take a look. Haha, this thing knows me well. It says vodka. Vodka, huh? This guy has drunk a lot of vodka in his time. Lots and lots of it I did drink when I was a youngster. Together we'd make a good cocktail. No doubt. I can prepare it if you so wish. Maybe later, but before we start drinking, it'd be nice to know why we're here. We should already have all the pseudonyms, no? The what? I still don't get why it says vodka here. This ain't a bottle. I can't drink it. That's your name for now. Unless you'd like to tell us your real one. I may be old, but I'm not dumb. If there's a code name, it must be for something. Trust me on this. Have you been in this situation before, sir? Huh, Gramps. Oh no, huh, Gramps doesn't fool around. Thanks. Well, now what? What is this for? As all of them had introduced themselves, more or less, the big question reappeared. Yes, we need answers. Somebody must have brought us here. A kidnapping! Kidnapping? Me? What for? I'd be the winning party there if the kidnapper takes care of me. The access to this bar already makes it A-okay for me. Don't say such things. I'm sure your family must be very worried right now. Bah. Is your relationship with them that bad? Huh. Is that a yes? According to my calculations, I would hypothesize, with a margin of error, that it may or may not be a yes. But only if maybe or yes perhaps. Sometimes. What? Well, I think she's lost it completely. That didn't take long. You can't lose what you never had. That's my secret. Copyright it. Don't steal it. Okay, well... I just wanted to know what you're on for research and preservation. All natural, baby. This really isn't the right time for this. This has to be a kidnapping, right? Somebody put us to sleep and locked us up in this abandoned bar. It doesn't look very abandoned, though. Silence filled the room for a few seconds. Although he understood that most of them had been awake for longer, it still felt strange that they had accepted it so rapidly. There was a piece missing, an important piece to understand the situation, and that was... No, you got one thing wrong. That's what we assumed when we woke up. That's what you'd expect in this kind of scenario. If it's even something you can expect. And yet, while it looks like we were captured and carried here somehow, Polka looked at what seemed to be the only entrance and exit of the bar. We checked the door and it's open. We aren't locked up here. Why are you still here? Oh. However, that doesn't mean we can get outside. If we go out and explore, we could run into closed doors. Wait, the door isn't locked, but you didn't go out? Some insisted on doing so, but I convinced them against it until all of us woke up. In a situation like this one, not taking any hasty decisions is key. You're a real gentleman, Cocktail. And now that we're all here, it's time to see what awaits us outside the bar. Huh? Not even gonna let me have one sip before we leave? I can serve you a drink if you wish, but just take it with you. Not now. I'd like to get out of here as soon as possible. Well, go right ahead if you want. Nobody's gonna stop you. No, we must stay. It was then that the conversation took a different path, a path that had no way back. They all turned towards the new voice. Oh. You should check the rules. Coffee, who had remained invisible up to that point, gained the attention of everyone present with her gaze still on the barman. Did she touch the screen to get onto the next page and there's just rules there and nobody did that? What? Oh, it's saying billiards because that's who's speaking. Gotcha. The what or what? Oh yeah, this thing contains something. Jin raised her barman high to call everyone's attention. Probably something related to our situation. We decided to wait until we were... we decided to... This isn't her speaking. Before checking anything. Another reason for why we chose to remain here. But somebody seems to have jumped the gun. What? Well, might as well check before we go out. Let's see, what are these so-called rules? I have a bad feeling about this. Oh hey, here's the screen. Welcome to the Golden Jack. Yeah, please touch the screen to proceed, but we never did that. Nervous, Bill turned on the barman once more. Again, that presentation screen with the name Billiards appeared. He didn't want to follow orders coming from such a shady object, but if he wanted to find out what was going on, he had to touch the screen. Trying to relax, he took a deep breath and... Ooh. Ooh. The game will not begin until all players have read the core rules. Until then, all of the barman functions will be locked. Ooh. After touching the screen, the name disappeared and was replaced by a message. And indeed, there were several menus, though only the first one was unlocked rules. More and more, Bill was sure it couldn't be anything good, but to find out what it all meant, he had no choice. Oh, so data, council, messages, link, notes, but they're all locked. Can you secret messages with each other? Make notes. I don't know what link, council, or data would be. Let's read these rules then. It's 19 minutes past midnight. Oh no! It's all vanished. I wanted to read that. The rules appeared alongside a message on top of them. The greeting message from their kidnapper. Welcome to the Golden Jack. You have been chosen to play a game. Your bodies have been poisoned. It's a slow poison. If you win the game, you will receive the antidote. If you want to come out alive, you'll have to partake. My motives are irrelevant to you. If you want revenge, first you'll have to win. From now on, you are chained to my rules, and you yourselves will become those rules. These rules will be your shackles, but also your weapons. Break them, and you'll be set free. Whoa. It's likely you'll want to evade reality. This is a dream. This is a joke. This isn't for real. You are free to think so. In an hour, you'll feel the first symptoms of the poison. It will be then when you'll have to make a choice. Otherwise, it will be the end. Be strong. Find your allies. Defeat your enemies. And see what lies beyond. From the very bottom of my being, I await a good game. The owner. Oh, okay. That is cool. Okay. Do we have to read this now as well? Like, should I read the background or are we gonna read it? I'm reading it in case it vanishes again. Hold on. Everyone fell completely silent, staring at their screens. some reading, while others were still trying to understand what was happening. I gotta say, it is a really, like, crazy fear to just wake up in some sort of Saw type game. Right. Right, here's the rules. Players must take part in the game following the rules. All players have been poisoned. The poison will take effect in 1 hour and 5 minutes from the start of the game. But after an hour, at XXOO, antidotes that delay death 1 hour will be distributed. Each player has a specific antidote and others won't have an effect. Okay, so we can't share antidotes. And we need one each hour. If an antidote is broken, falls to the floor, or is drunk by the wrong player, be it accidental or deliberate, it shall be replaced. It shall be replaced. Okay. So if it's broken, falls, or is drunk, accidentally or deliberately. If a player breaks a rule or is eliminated for any other reason, that player won't receive your antidote. But yeah, it said that the rules are your shackles, and if you break them, it'll set you free. But yeah, it says if you break the rules, you'll be eliminated. When the game is won, an antidote that completely removes the poison shall be rewarded. Can we all win the game? To play, a barman device is required, of which there is one for each player that can only be used by that player. Okay, under no circumstances can a player look intentionally at the screen of another barman turned on or make someone look at their own. Breaking any barman or performing any violent actions to them is also forbidden. We are literally not allowed to look at each other's, okay, or show them to each other. Okay. Each player has a numbered rule associated with them. Players can break that rule without penalty or limit. A link between two players can allow the infringement of the partner's rule. Oh god. If a player dies, the associated rule will be removed from the game permanently. What are these rules? It's not these rules, is it? These are the core rules. These aren't the game rules, I guess. Okay, but we did see that link screen on the menu. At XX45 of every hour, all players present in the Golden Jack will have to participate in a council. Oh, that's a council. Quarter to every hour. Where they will have to debate in order to find the rule number of the other players and use accusations to eliminate them. Is it like a social deduction game? No players can leave a council until it has been declared finished. Okay. To help unveil the rule that each player possesses, data, information and numbers that apply to it has been distributed among the players, as well as hints hidden throughout the play area to connect the data with the player. Oh, cool. The game will continue until 3 or less players remain alive. Until then, nobody can exit the building. Okay, this is the information that I was looking for specifically. Until 3 or less players remain alive. How many of us are there right now? So we can't all win. Oh shit. When you get given this information, it makes it less about finding a way for everyone to live and more about protecting yourself, doesn't it? So we can make allyships with people. We can make links. There's councils. Oh my god, okay. There's gonna be so much. We can't trust Poker. He's gonna be so good at this game. Okay. Okay. Players must take... Oh, I've just read all of this. All players have been poisoned. Poison will take effect. Yeah. So I guess at the end of each council, that's when we get our antidotes. It seems to be played in hourly sections. Okay, I'm not reading all this again because I've just... Oh, to Bill and probably everyone else, it felt like he was alone in that room. Like, the entire world around him had stopped existing, with the exception of those words. Okay. Would anyone mind discussing this together? I think it would help understand the situation if we talked about it. Cocktail broke the silence with an appeased tone, trying to maintain peace. The world returned and Bill was thrown out of his trance, not even remembering if he had been breathing. I can imagine how scary it would be. Poker frowned. The calmness he had shown until then was gone. Oh, excuse me. In general, all seem to have been affected to some degree. Yeah, sounds good. What do y'all think about this whole mess? This is ridiculous. The door is open. I'm not taking part in this. Look at her trembling. But you're poisoned, right? How true is that, though? Do you want to take that risk? It's like one of those horror films, but they left the door open. We can just leave, right? What's the point in kidnapping us if it's optional? Well, this doesn't read like it's optional, but... No, it's obviously not optional. Running away isn't an option. Why not? The poison, assuming it's real, it will kill us if we set foot outside. Not if we look for help. If we manage to find a hospital, or... If someone put in this much effort of setting up this shit, if it's really not some fucked up hidden camera joke, they should be smart enough to make sure the poison ain't easy to get rid of. We're probably in the middle of a desert or something, so even if we walk for ages, we won't find a hospital in time for them to find a cure. Those who saw what was on the other side of that door with me know what I'm talking about. What's on the other side of the door? A corridor. We ain't getting out of here just by getting off this bar. And even though this door is open, this one's leading, the one leading outside might not. In fact, I would bet it's not. I bet there's more like a bigger facility or something. There must be some windows in this building. I'm not very athletic, so maybe it's not the best idea, but if that's the only choice we have. As far as this bar is concerned, I've yet to see a single window around. And if we found any outside the bar, sure, that'd be an option, as long as we aren't too high up. What if we're at the top of a skyscraper? Even if you were the world champion of Olympic jumping, you'd still die if you fell like 10 floors plus. Those of you that can climb walls superhero style are in luck. Meanwhile, the rest of us mortals are quite screwed. They couldn't be sure until they checked, although being too hopeful wasn't good idea either. And there was one detail that hadn't been brought up yet. What about the fact that 3 people? It made perfect sense to not want to participate in a game after being placed there against their will. But they had already made the following 2 assumptions. 1, the poison was real. And much more critically, 2, that game would be one they would not want to play. In other words, it wouldn't be an innocent game to enjoy and then simply leave after its conclusion. Not just because of the poison. Anyone could tell what type of game it was. That was precisely the reason why the poison was needed, to force them to play. Realizing both points, Bill immediately spoke up about the first. Wait, have we really been poisoned? As this clearly states, we can't really make sure for now. Like, you can guarantee that they're gonna start feeling bad after an hour. Because that's what it says, but that still doesn't mean it's a deadly poison, right? Could just be something else. I don't know. If we could do that, we'd just say, fuck this game, and just focus on getting out of here. And that's the crux of the matter. If it's true, we have to wait an hour. I mean, one of us falls flat on the ground, and it's confirmed as heck. Any doctors in the room? Poison expert required over here. The cold silence of their companions made Lime and Vodka aware that it wasn't designed for humour. The young woman and the old man shared a resigned look. Well, let's just keep reading for the time being. Nothing wrong with that. We can worry about the poison folly later. Oh, we read ahead, didn't we? Exactly. Let's look at all the cards before we play. To play, a barman device is required, of which there is one for each player, can only be used. No circumstances, look at each other's barman. Breaking one is also forbidden. Each player has a numbered rule associated with them. Can break it. Link between two players. So there's got to be game rules, a separate list of rules, right? Interesting. Yeah, the link. Interesting? Now you want to play? Nah, but under less criminal circumstances, maybe I would. A game where each player is different from the rest is a pretty appealing concept. Right. You have to follow all the rules except your own. That immediately gives each player a unique advantage and disadvantages. Although it mentions some link stuff. I'm guessing it'll come up later. How? How can they talk about these rules so naturally? What's wrong with them? I mean, this guy probably plays poker, so he's used to games, I guess. But where's that rule screen at? I'd say it'll appear after this. We shouldn't rush. If a player dies, the associated rule will be removed from the game permanently. Ah, I see. It's presumed. An incentive to eliminate others. The fewer there are, the more freedom for the remainders. Oh yeah, I didn't think of it that way. Depending on what the rules are, the game could open up a lot. The way he spoke made it sound like a simple game. What that actually meant was clear. The second supposition they had made, that it wasn't a mere game. But he had avoided using words like that at that moment. He had avoided using words that, at that moment, were starting to turn taboo. Nobody could tell if he had done so knowingly, or if in his head that it really was just a game. 45 past. Will council, where they'll have to debate in order to find the rule number of the other players and use accusations to eliminate them. Oh, debate. Sounds intense. Do you understand that if you lose this debate, you die, Lime? You die. Die. Okay? God damn, girl. Okay, so basically, the goal is to find out the other's numbers to get them out of the game. What if you made a link with someone, and then you just grassed them up? Snitches are winners, baby. I feel like that would go bad. Sounds easy enough. Yes, but remember, according to what we learned earlier, each number is associated with a rule. Ah, then... Indeed, with each elimination, the game can change drastically. I'm so curious about these rules. I see, so those are the consequences for putting an end to a player. So maybe on one round, the rules will be really good in your favor, but then in the next round, maybe not because another rule's opened up because someone else has died. Dart's got several stares from his seemingly uncaring attitude, though he didn't seem to care. No player can leave a council until it has been declared finished. To unveil the rule, help in the form of data has been distributed, as well as hints hidden throughout the play area. I don't suppose there's going to be like any, not escape rooms, but like detective scenarios, hidden object type thing. And finally, the most important part, the last base rule of the game, which confirmed their fears. See, I said this was the part I was looking for too, a very important part. The game will continue until 3 or less players remain alive. Until then, nobody can exit the building. That bar was in truth a jail cell. Even with its door open, Oh yeah, I didn't even care about the door, man. I don't care about the door. They hadn't seen what awaited them beyond the Golden Jack, yet now even that ordinary place felt completely different. A joint cell that would demand for sacrifices. And there it is. Didn't like a single bit of how that was all written, but now there's no doubt. A deathly game, eh? Lucky of you all to have me here. You can get rid of me with no regrets. Enough years on my back. Oh no, vodka. Or I suppose I'm the lucky one here. I have much fewer years of life at stake. Not funny anymore. That wasn't meant as a joke. At my age, it's hard to take anything seriously. When you reach it, you'll understand. If you do, that is. The previous looks that Darts had received were trivial next to what the old man got, albeit that feeling they gave off were different. The feeling, sorry. I mean, he's just saying facts. It was a serious matter, and that dark humour could only dishearten them. I don't think he was being funny. Genuinely, I think he... Alright, I admit, that was too much. You don't need to listen to me. No, but I think when it comes down to it, I think he'll sacrifice himself. Definitely for the kid, probably. Put on some smiles, though. This isn't a funeral. Not yet, anyways. Whatever you say, old fart. Hey, I'm on Grandpa's side. A bit. A sense of humour is important. Especially in moments like these. Just not that sort of humour. Not my type, sorry. Well, at least the one behind this had the great benevolence to let 3 of us survive. I'm sure they thought they were doing us a great favour. How generous of them. They also signed off as the owner, right? So like the owner of the bar. It was true that in such games, the worst scenario was for only one person to retain their life, or none. That said, they couldn't get their heads around who would be capable of willing of creating such a game. Bill wanted to say something, to throw out all the frustration that had taken hold of him, but words didn't come out. What could he say to change the situation? Whoever is behind this shit must be really fucked in the head. Yeah, right? And people call me weird. Lime's intentions were well-meaning, though not effective. They were just a curtain trying to hide away reality, to avoid panic and alleviate their minds. But they couldn't close their eyes for long. He took a deep breath and tried to relax first. Then, we have to play this no matter what? No. Finally, he took action. Even though we are strangers, we shouldn't participate in something that involves killing each other. We can't. Trying not to think about it, the word kill spewed out of him as if he had tried to get it out of his head. He didn't want to imagine how things would end up if the situation got out of hand. On the surface, the 9 people with him didn't seem dangerous. They were just victims, just like him. Some more peculiar than others, but no one had the eyes of a killer. At least, that's what he felt, and that's how he wanted it to remain. If our lives are in danger, our only option is to play. I won't lay still waiting for my death. I know, I'm not saying that we should give up. It's the opposite, we have to survive, but we can't lose our humanity in the process. Unfortunately, those words stuck to his throat for a few moments, letting someone else intervene. Yeah, but do we just die with our humanity intact? Or, because that might be what happens, you know, if we do that. Yay, humanity, but I'm too dead to enjoy it. You know? Let's not get heated, please. We have yet to fully read all this game entails. Exactly. Chill. We haven't gotten to the rules yet. Last thing we need is to break one by accident. If we haven't done that yet, of course. A chill ran through Bill's back. One of the many he'd been having, but perhaps the biggest one yet. Carried away by the events and his emotions, he'd forgotten something so obvious, or more like it hadn't even gone through his head. Without any further delay, everyone touched their screens, and the rules appeared. I saw killing. That was fast. A list of 10 rules, and before he could read them, Bill heard their voices. So, ours is the one marked, yeah? Seems so. Yikes. This is way too much stuff all at once. Oh, mama, oh, papa, we goofed and we planked. What? What? I see. Bill looked at the list, but... Okay. Huh? Okay. Okay. Okay, right. I'm trying to read them quickly. Okay, no. Rule number 1. Intended killing is forbidden except with an accusal or being the spy. That's a rule. So if you are number 1, you are allowed to just kill anyone. You could just go on a mass murder and win right now. But if you get caught, and if you die at the council or whatever, then everyone is allowed to kill. This rule is no longer a rule, right? So, rule number 2, you must remain inside the Golden Jack. So there's one person right now that is allowed outside of the Golden Jack. Okay. I'm curious what kills you if you break the rule. Because there's not been like any bombs or anything like that. Maybe just not being allowed an antidote. You would die really slowly though. And they might want to kill you faster to get rid of your rule. So, yeah, they might want to get rid of number 2. The person who wants to remain inside. And that one's so easy to figure out. Right? You just get everyone to step outside. The one person that won't, you've got them figured out. And you can get rid of them. And then that rule's gone. Okay. I'm just kind of sussing out this game as I go. Rule number 3. In each council, one player will have to say their number publicly. Lying is allowed, but without repeating a number until all have been declared. If a lie is proven, the real number will have to be given. What? Maybe this one will become more clear at a council. One player will have to say their number publicly. Lying is allowed. But still, if someone was like, my rule is number 2. And then someone else proved that they already knew that someone else's rule was number 2, then they would then have to give their real number because it was a lie. Okay. But this doesn't even count if you're rule number 3. Right, okay. Rule number 4. If the game continues after 10 hours have passed, players will have to end it immediately with their suicide. So if you are rule number 4, it's in your best interest to make a game last for 10 hours. Or just stay alive for 10 hours, I guess. Okay. That doesn't help you during the game, though. It just helps you win if you survive that long. Or stay alive if you survive that long. Because you're not part of that rule. Oh, you could be a 4th winner. No, that wouldn't work. 5. Immediately after a rule's death, the player with this number... Oh, if number 4 died, they wouldn't have to suicide after 10 hours. 4 has a target. Okay. Immediately after a rule's death, the player with this number will have the option to swap it with the fallen rule. Oh, cool. So, like, if number 1 died, rule number 1, number 5 could take number 1 and start killing everyone. No, why would you... Oh, yeah, and be the only person allowed to kill everyone. Then not everyone could kill everyone. Okay? 6. In an accusal, the person with the accused number will have to abstain from voting. If a majority is reached but the person chosen is incorrect, the accusers won't be able to vote that person again in future accusations. The person with the accused will have to abstain. Okay. Okay, that one is going to have to make sense later. 7. When data is revealed to others, no part can be omitted or faked. And each player can only unlock 1 data per hour. That might make more sense when we look at data. Number 8. Messaging is only allowed when responding to a received message, requiring a coherent response in less than 10 minutes after being sent, unless a council is underway. Cool. But how does anyone ever message each other if no one's allowed to start the conversation? Oh, because this rule doesn't apply to number 8. So if you didn't receive a reply within 10 minutes, you would know that person was number 8. So you could just message everyone every 10 minutes. At the start of every hour, each player will be assigned a secret objective that has to be completed before the next without being discovered. So each hour, they are trying to do something without breaking these rules, without showing themselves up. Okay. Oh, this is really cool. Something can last. Links can last a maximum of 1 hour and can only be formed once. In addition, the use of spy mode is not allowed. So there's also spy mode. And links are only a maximum of 1 hour. And then no more. This is a lot of rules. Unless you're number 10, you could link again. But the other person couldn't link to you again, right? Or they could, because they would be linked with you, so they get your rule. Okay. So if you have rule number 10, you're going to want to link with a lot of people. He didn't see any marks. What was supposed to indicate which one was his rule? Did he have to ask others for help? For some reason, he couldn't bring himself to do it. Which one's my rule? Was it a lie? Who said that about the marks? The kid? Or Lime? Jin. Maybe his device was broken, or perhaps there was some meaning behind it. If that was the case, sharing it with everyone was dangerous and would put him at a disadvantage. As soon as he thought that, his mind slammed on the brakes. Had he just... Unconsciously and against his wishes, his brain had started to play that game. He couldn't erase these thoughts from his head. Oh yeah, I'm all in on the game. Whoops, we're supposed to be trying to get away from the game. Better off not saying anything for now. Before anything else, I should read them. Okay. One by one, he read the 10 rules in the middle of that silence that had formed while everyone did the same. All rules had their value. However, 5 of them were especially notable. The first 4 and the 9th. Kill and stay inside. The council thingy. 10 hours and... the secret objective. You just wouldn't even have to do your secret objective, but you'd have to make it look like you were doing one. Oof. I'm lost as heck right now. Anyone got the recap? I believe it would be beneficial for us all if we discuss it openly. Right. It's important that we all understand what we're dealing with. First rules seem like a good summary. 1. Intended killing is forbidden except with an accusal or being the spy. Do they have to kill each other in the council meetings when they've done an accusal? Do they then have to follow it through with murder? Executions? So we can't just go butcher someone, yeah? That's a good rule. It keeps us safe. More like it restricts the killer rule to one person. The player in possession of that rule can break it without being eliminated. Don't forget it. Several looks of suspicion flew across the room. Trying to calm things down, someone slightly changed the subject. What's that talk about a spy? Are we back in the Cold War? We're already on the 21st century, Gramps. Good question, though. No clue what that's about. Yeah, there's got to be a rule somewhere. Ho, 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 we have a spy. Is she just using all languages? That's explained later on. What seems clear is that the easiest way for us to eliminate anyone is with these accusals. Exactly. One person can go... Oh, I'm sorry about all the yawning. One person can go the violent route, but if they die, that path becomes available to all of us. Yeah, that's right. Everything was getting made more and more bizarre by the second. A bunch of strangers were calmly talking about eliminating each other. Bill could not understand. Perhaps those people had been chosen for the game precisely because of their easy acceptance of it. But in that case, why was he included? But wait, if only one can kill, how is this game fair? By using accusations. It explained in the council menu. Oh, the council menu. Basically, if enough people know somebody's number, they can get an accusal started and vote them, and if they get it right, that person's antidote's taken out. Okay. Then, let's say, for example, I start an accusation against 4. Everyone would get a message saying something like, number 4 is on the ropes, make them pay. That was way too cringy. Forget that example. That's not the important part. We would all get the memo, and then we would write the name of the player we think has rule 4. Oh, and this is why you have to write a cohesive answer. That's a rule. Within 10 minutes. So is it the owner that's sending out these memos? In your case, like for example, darts. Is that an accusation? No clue. Should it? I don't think that. Channel your inner key, people. Enter Nirvana with me. Let's go. Uno, dos, tres. Done. Calm now. I'm calm. Yep. What? You cannot, we can't, no. We can just not vote, right? No, I think that's a rule. Yeah, abstaining, a blank vote. And that could have consequences? As expected, if someone's number was found out, their life would be put in danger. Okay, I think I'm getting it now. I got a question about the next one. 2. You must remain inside the Golden Jack. Golden Jack is a bar, right? Didn't you say you opened the door? Yes, but we didn't go out. It doesn't count, right? Right? Let's hope. No, the game hadn't even started yet. It hadn't started until everyone had seen the rules, right? Didn't even open it all the way. But the thing is, the person who can break that rule can't just leave. Because I was thinking of it the other way. Everyone's allowed to leave except this one person. It's the opposite. Oh my god. I would die. I would be the first to die. Just saying. I can't, like, tell the difference between rules and broken rules. Every day is opposite day. Nobody stepped outside. We should be safe. Waiting was the right call. Then we are trapped in here? Man. All but one, to be precise. Let's hope they don't abandon us. They could though, because then you could just vote for them and then they get no antidote. As long as they leave the drinks here, I'm good. The other rules said we couldn't get off the building, so I doubt it. Maybe, but that person could go out, investigate, and tell us what they found. Oh, shit. Because, yeah, it would be a good thing for someone to just go out, but then they'll get stabbed in the back. That would reveal their role, ergo their number. Nobody's that stupid. Okay, calm down, young man. It was just an idea. Sure, if someone wants to be the noble sacrifice, they are welcome. But like I said, doubt it. Relax, we can get to those things later. I think the third one is the most dangerous right now. 3. In each council, one player will have to say their number publicly. Lying is allowed, but without repeating a number until all have been declared. If a lie is proven, the real number will have to be given. The first 2 could be considered reasonable in comparison anyways. Oh yeah, that one did me good. They telling us to do some sacrificial rituals? That's a very extreme way to look at it, but I can't deny that that's how it seems, depending on what you consider proof. So in essence, in each of these councils, one person has to take that risk so everyone can survive until all of us have done it after 10 hours. Okay, so then one person has to do it, but they are gonna lie. You just want to hope they don't accidentally choose a number that people already know is a lie, because if they can then prove that, they're giving their number up. Oh my god. Still, how do they expect us to do it? Nobody will take that risk. And we will all break that rule. We need more emphasis on the consequences of breaking the rule. But only the person holding that rule would be forgiven, which would make them the only survivor. Oh shit, yeah. Because I was thinking, what if we all just break the rules, try and leave, find a way out, the game's done, then we all die? Doesn't really work, does it? We have to stop that. If we agree on an order and follow it. Yeah, sure. Good luck with that. It's the only way to be the first then. He didn't know how to respond to that. Maybe he really had to be the first so the rest of them would follow him. But even with that in mind, it was a hard call to make. It was the classic prisoner's dilemma. Someone had to take a risk for the well-being of others, but if nobody took it, all would be punished. All the voices stopped until... Number 4 is also important. Once again, she chimed in when everyone had already forgotten her presence. True. If the game continues after 10 hours have passed, players will have to end it immediately with their suicide. A 10-hour time limit, essentially. And what a way to phrase it, man. I guess, even if you link with a person at 10 hours, you can only link for an hour. So, you can maybe push it to 11 hours? Well, that makes sense. That way we aren't stuck here forever. That's only if we can get through Rule 3. In comparison, Rule 4 isn't as imminent. Yeah. Even so, we have to hurry. We have to find a way out. 10 hours should be enough time to investigate and find the exit. In a corner of the screen, as was standard, the time appeared. 25 passed, so we've spent 6 minutes. When they had awakened, it had been 12 o'clock. At least that's how it seemed, but it was suspicious that they had woken up right as the day started. They didn't know how much time had passed since their abduction, so the time was possible. What, like it's not definitely? Or it could just be a timer. Yeah, counting down the time since the start of the game. There's no windows, so yeah. Seems convenient that they all woke up at 12. As long as Rule 2 exists, we can't look for an exit. That means we need to kill number 2. That means really number 2, right, the ideal scenario here is vodka is number 2. He's feeling very charitable with his life. So he goes out and has a look about. And then... That's so horrible. Just based on his joke earlier though. Because number 2 is like a really terrible responsibility to have. Because if you're hiding it, you're impeding the chance of everyone being able to escape. But if you give it away, you are probably gonna die. Those could be considered the 4 main rules. A player elimination method restriction, a spatial restriction, an hourly danger, and a time restriction. There was another imperative rule, right? However, Rule 9 also worries me. 9. At the start of every hour, each player will be assigned a secret objective that has to be completed before the next one, without being discovered. Oh yeah, even more stuff. Just what we needed. For real though, why play this when you have elegant and beautifully simple games like good old rock, paper, scissors? What? I'm just saying, if they have to make us play something, at least make it simple, like paper, rock, scissors. Scissors, rock, thingy, bob. No one beats scissors, rock, paper. I'm just going to ignore all that stuff at the end. If rules will go down with time, it makes sense it's so complex. Otherwise, it might actually end up being more basic than rock, paper, scissors. I don't think it would go that far, but yes, I guess that makes some sense. So that's a recap, yeah? More or less, but read all of it later. At least don't be lazy. Okay. She didn't read it. She did. She's messing with us. But there's something really intriguing. Rule 10 mentions a spy mode, which appears in one of the menus, and only that rule can use, but it doesn't seem to be explained anywhere. Oh my! The spy strikes back. Electric Boogaloo. That's true. The first one also mentions a spy. Nobody seemed to have an answer for that mystery, so the conversation ended there. My head hurts because of all this nonsense. Oh wait, that's the usual. At least we can check them whenever we want. There's a ton of stuff not cleared yet, but that info should be here too, I hope. Even with doubts in the air, those were the main rules. That was the game they had been shut in. He had to examine the other options inside the so-called barman in depth. He had to know his enemy well. That game. Oof, too complicated. So many numbers. Can we just play Una? Is that Uno? Una? Wait, you don't know Una? No. I may be old, but I do know that much Spanish. Look, I can count una... words. Molto bien. You passed. ¿Por qué? What? Complaining is pointless. All the pieces have been laid on the board. Those who continue to look away will fall first. Darts is so in this. I'm still not so sure, but As long as the poison can be real, we have no choice but to follow the rules. And if we confirm it's real, we'll have to play. Oh, I've never saved. Whoa, it's a lot of save files. Okay. There's not much chance of not playing, really. He looked all around at the faces of his alleged opponents. There were all sorts of expressions. Some smiling with no worry to be found. Jin, why are you smiling? Some with a confident grin. Don't grin! Darts, don't do it. Some confused. Oh. Or not taking it seriously. Others staring at their barman screen. With sweat droplets on their forehead. All faces that wanted to scream to escape that place. Even if he didn't know his number yet, the rest probably did if he was the only case. What was each number thinking? Some could already be planning. And yet, the number wasn't his priority. The young man assigned the name Billiards saw things differently. That situation, typical of a horror movie, was a one-way road with a dead end, literally. If they let fear carry them, they themselves would cause that end, and the criminal behind it all would be the winner. Who was the culprit? What were their motives? Why them? Those weren't the questions he wanted to solve. He wasn't a detective and had no plans to become one. They had a life to continue, waiting for them outside, in the world they had lived in until then. A world full of hardships, but that, even in its worst times, wasn't as sinister as the games in front of them. He would return, alive, and it wouldn't be alone or with any sacrifice. He wouldn't lower himself to becoming a murderer. They had to escape somehow. That was the only option, before it was too late. Before number one made a move. Luckily, only that person was an impending threat. However, while they were relatively safe as long as Rule 1 lived, that only prolonged their lives for 10 hours. As long as Rule 4 existed, that was their limit. Oh, is this us? I wondered what we looked like. No matter what happened, even if they were strangers, he would not let anyone die. And if necessary, what? If necessary, jump scare. Oh, well. Placeholder background. Is that like the end of an intro chapter, maybe? 5 years had passed since that day. The day his life completely changed and his search started. He wasn't looking for anything special, only something ordinary, yet essential. A life. That was all. A life he could be proud of, one that could be remembered on his last moments, without any regrets. No, not even that. He didn't mind having some regrets. He was ready to make some mistakes, as long as they were minor. There was no specific dream, no exact goal to reach, only a simple wish of happiness, like anyone would, but that was part of his wish. The part where he differed from everyone else, ironically, was his yearning to be part of society, one of many, nobody special. While most desire individuality, he searched for a simple peace to reside in, a normal life. That didn't mean he had no ambitions. He wasn't looking for mediocrity, but he simply didn't need anything special. Many had laughed at him because of that, or tried to change his mind. However, even though his dream was simple, ordinary, basic, with nothing special, and boring, his willpower to reach it had been clearer and stronger than anybody would have anticipated, not even himself. It had been 5 years since he'd started living alone. Still a teenager, he still had a long way ahead. In many ways, nothing had changed in his last 4 years, unlike 6 years before when his life had changed completely. His life had slowly improved, and he got used to his new, independent life. Until... Prologue. Did we just play the prologue? Because that just said 00. Now he was there at the bar. Okay. You can now access the map. You can now access profiles. Trying to calm down, Bill breathed deeply. Hold on a second then. Let me check this stuff. So this, it said, is a placeholder map. It was already made before some of the other stuff, and they'll finalize it once they get the rest. But let's just take a look. So this is us here, Bill, at the bar, right? The counter. So this is huge. So this is the entrance. Billiards. Dartboard. Is there something correspondent to everyone? Piano. Are they the 3 winners? Jukebox. No one has jukebox as their name. Glass panel area. I don't know what that means. Shelves. So what are these green? Fish tank. Bathrooms. The sofas, that's where we woke up. I guess this is the background that... No, this is the background that we saw, right? The lower area. Okay. How do I get out of this? And then profiles, right? Oh! Don't scare me like that. Cocktail, rule, question mark. Beverage, question mark. Situation, working behind the counter. Billiards comment. Amongst all our bad luck, at least we got lucky in having a bartender with us. Still too soon to jump to conclusions, but his judgment and composure could also be a big help. Did we write like a diary about everyone? Cool. Standing around the counter. Oh, this is cool. Seems to be sure of himself. I'd say he could make for a good group leader. More than me. If he chooses not to play, he could be a strong ally. Otherwise, he'll be the opposite. And I don't think I could change his mind. Oh, this is great. Okay, hold on. Because... Okay, fine. Let's read them. Vodka. His comments really rubbed me the wrong way. He needs to value his life more and take this seriously. Well, at least it guarantees he won't be playing, so I could see him as a potential ally. With some troubling drawbacks. Wonder why we need to know the beverage. This is cigar. The game seems to have really affected her. Maybe even more than it did to me. Don't like to admit it, but I'm relieved to see someone reacting to this in a normal way. Hope she calms down though. Falling prey to fear isn't good either. Is this me? Yeah, I'm just... Were they bluffing about being able to see their own numbers? I don't know. Situation. Still haven't processed all this. First of all, I should calm down. Is this going to change for each chapter? That's really cool. I'm not the most suitable person for this, but I do have 2 things in my favour. Optimism and stubbornness. Time will show if that's enough. Cool. Lime. Doesn't seem bothered at all by the game. On one hand, I'm happy to see someone so positive here. On the other hand, it's worrying. We need to take this seriously to make it out alive. I don't find her very refreshing. Coffee. Standing around the counter, away from us. She's barely said anything, so I'm not sure what to think. I can understand if it's simply because of her fear or distrust, but if that leads to her playing, I'll talk to her. We need to build trust and unity to cooperate and escape. We know literally nothing about her to know whether she would, like, play the game, not play the game. pretend that she's not playing the game while she's actually playing the game, you know? Darts. Okay. Give me... Oh, looking at his Batman. Gives me bad vibes. I don't want to suspect anyone, but for now, I don't think I can trust him too much. He could try to win the game. I need to talk to him ASAP. If we can get him on our side, though... Whoops. Then I think that would be helpful. Doesn't seem very friendly, but he's probably just scared. Ending up in here at his age is awful. I just hope he doesn't make a mistake he'll regret for all his life. What if he's got rule number 1? The murder? Because even if he murders someone, right? Are we gonna murder him? I mean, we should. And then Jin. She doesn't seem very upset by the game, but unlike most others, I don't get the feel she isn't taking it seriously. That combination is ideal to survival. Time will tell which path she'll take to get through it, though. Yeah, it's sketchy. I don't really know. I really like the screen. I don't know who's going to end up being our allies or what. I also don't know how many endings the game's going to have or anything like that. I wondered if we could take a better look at this now. So yeah, there's the rules. Objective. Oh, no objectives are distributed on the first hour. Yeah, this is... So each hour we're going to get an objective. We're now 30 minutes. There are 5 objectives that will be distributed randomly every hour with a maximum of 3 repeats per hour. Oh, it's not an objective. It's a role. Investigator. Find out one secret from one person. So that's just going to be chatting. Explorer. Find a new hint, which are hidden around the bar. Better half. Find the other player with this objective unfulfilled. There will be 2 per hour, and it won't count as revealing the secret objective. But after the 6th hour, the max number will increase to 3. Find the other player with this objective unfulfilled. Okay. So you're trying to find the other person that has better half? Okay. Protector. Choose and... How do you do that? How do you even approach doing that? So, if you all, you know... Wink wink something. Oh god, I would die. Protector. Choose an alive player. If not chosen in the first 10 minutes of the hour, it will be assigned randomly. If they are to be eliminated, you will be eliminated instead. If they die, you have to reveal your number publicly. If you receive this objective again, the chosen player will be the same, but if they are dead, you will have to choose again. Whoa. So if they are to be eliminated, you will be eliminated instead. If they die, that means we die if we're revealing our number. Okay. Spy. Only after the 6th hour. Okay, so over halfway through. Discover the secret objective of one player and reveal it publicly. If you are correct, it won't count as revealing your objective. And you have to do this, right? Unless you have the rule that you don't have to do it. Objectives will be considered secret as long as they aren't said out loud. Revealing a secret objective without the need of evidence will count as an intended kill. So you shouldn't go around telling people what other people have been doing. Oh my god. Okay, cool. And then we've got these rules. Has anything changed on these rules? No. Okay. Data. Oh, this is not working. Okay. Council. 15 minutes left for the next council. Oh yeah, help. Councils can only be carried out inside the Golden Jack in the last 15 minutes of an hour. They work as open debates between all attending players with the main objective of figuring out the other's rule number. At any moment, any council member can pause the debate to initiate an accusal by writing the number of the rule they want to accuse. Each council, only one accusal is permitted per number and per player. Okay. From the moment an accusal is issued until its end, talk is prohibited. All assembled must write the name of the player that they think is that number. If more than half of the council members choose correctly, that player will be eliminated from the game. If a majority isn't reached, the player who began the accusal will receive the name of the most voted, but without any percentage. Oh wow, okay. I was gonna say, can you not then cheese this so that everyone votes for different names? And then no one gets eliminated? But then at the end of the 10 hours... Alive, non-present players will be counted as abstention. Okay. Abstaining or writing an invalid name, non-existing or dead player, will result in a blank vote that will add to the most voted name, right? In a tie, or if the most voted name receives exactly half of the votes, the vote of the player who started the accusal will be doubled, right? At any moment, except accusals, any council member can request the end of the council. If all attending players accept, the council will close. After 15 minutes from the start, the council will be closed automatically. Oh my god, it's an emergency meeting. But with many emergency meetings within it, if needed. One for each person. Like, well, it doesn't have to be one for each person, but it can be if everyone needs to accuse someone. Records. Well, we haven't done one, so... Messages. Contact. Yeah, that's not a thing right now. Link allows special alliance between two players if their rule numbers add to 10. Oh! Both of their barmen must touch. Linked players can break the rule of their partners without penalty. If one of them is eliminated, only that player's rule will be removed. And you can only do it once. Okay. And then notes. Empty, but only if they add up to 10, so 1 and 9. So, oh my god, that's a killer team. You don't have to do your secret objective, and you can kill anyone. 2 and 8. Remain inside, and text messaging. 3 and 7. Say publicly, and no part can be omitted or faked. Oh my god, I'm not sure. Oh god. Okay, we've looked at the menu. Right, this video is getting pretty long. The thing is, I'm loving it, but I also don't have all of the time in the world, unfortunately. So let's just play a little bit more. I don't think we're gonna get to do a council though. But I do think there's a council in the demo. Let's just do a bit more. Trying to calm down, Bill breathed deeply. In an instant, his life had changed completely, losing everything he had been taking years to build up. He had managed to get out of the small world that had trapped him for almost all of his life, to now having his life trapped again in that bar, the Golden Jack. A world even smaller, emptier, almost bare of life. He had to escape that prison and recover his life, but he wasn't planning on doing it as his jailer intended. Some could see it as making an already difficult situation even worse. However, from his point of view, it was the only valid option. If he wanted to get back the life that had been taken from him, he had to keep his hands clean of blood. He wasn't particularly religious, so it wasn't about not tainting his soul with sin, nor about even avoiding jail. It was a much bigger, more important reason. He was simply incapable of killing. Before anything else, I propose we all investigate this place. Agreed. For now, let's just have a truce. Oh, look, there's us. Exactly. We need to act. But be careful, everyone. Got it. Nobody said anything else, simply leaving in different directions. It wasn't fully clear if they had accepted the truce, though. Thankfully, only one of them had the power to break it. Most of them left pretty quickly, leaving only a handful on the counter. With nobody paying attention to him, Bill decided it was finally time to act. Are we gonna go around trying to recruit people? Or, I think we should go and check out the billiards table. You know? It didn't take long to find what he was looking for. Whoa. Background yet to be completed. The door. The exit. I didn't think of that. My mind's too far in the game. Look at these. I really like this. These like hidey holes with little plants in them. That's really cool decor. Okay. The exit. Or technically speaking, the entrance. In front of it, on the floor, laid a welcome sign. Not very welcoming in their case, though. Welcome to the Golden Jack. We hope you enjoy your drinks. A space that appeared separate from the rest of the bar, walled off by blameless plants that made looking inside from the sides a difficult task. 2. You must remain inside the Golden Jack. Where's the boundary? I imagine it's the door. If that rule existed, it could only mean one thing. He stretched his arm, grabbed the handle, and slightly pulled it. The door really wasn't closed. The only thing that stopped them from opening it and leaving was that rule. He gulped. His much desired escape was within one hand rotation. But then what? Considering that someone with the ability to leave existed, it was a reasonable assumption that what lay beyond wasn't freedom. Not even number 2 could really escape the game. There was a big problem though, an obstacle that anchored them to that game. Your bodies have been poisoned. It's a slow poison. If you win the game, you will receive the antidote. They weren't sure if it was true, but that wasn't a threat they could ignore. As time passed, the likelihood of everything being fake was getting smaller, at least to him. There was only 2 realistic possibilities. Either everything was real, or a very cruel hidden camera TV program. And while he wanted to believe it was the second case, it was hard to believe a TV program with such a twisted sense of humor existed. Kidnapping random people with no permission was unthinkable. Yeah, and illegal, I think. You have to sign so many forms when it comes to permissions. It was clearly illegal, even if the poison was fake and every security measure was in place to prevent deaths. And if it was all true, if their captor had managed to prepare everything, obtaining the poison for everyone wouldn't be that hard in comparison. Slowly, he opened the door. And it closed almost immediately, taking a step back. He had taken a look outside, and what he had seen was, without question, a corridor. In other words, as it was to be expected, the bar's exit didn't lead to the outside. That bar was in some building. If he could get outside, even after breaking the rule that forbid leaving, a chance existed to get to a hospital that could save them from the poison. However, without knowing his own number, going out, hoping he had the second rule, was too big a risk. If he broke the rule, there would be 1 hour max for the poison to take effect. In that time, maybe he could find the antidote or the exit to the building, but anyone would know that was impossible, that it was impossible for one person. Anyone would know that was impossible for one person that didn't know what or who was on the other side. Before taking such a risk, it was best to make sure of a few things and gather some help. Finding a way to contact the outside or a straightforward way with no danger would be ideal. After a few moments, a decision was made. 2 hours. If an alternative wasn't found in that time, he would go through the door. There wasn't any reason for it to be 2 hours. It was a personal, self-imposed time limit. If by then he hadn't had any luck, he probably wouldn't get some by waiting any longer. I like this. In fact, maybe 1 hour was enough to check his chances there. Especially considering the worst case scenario could happen at any moment. Being there for any longer than that was dangerous. For him and for everyone else. Use the blue disc to change the music. Cool. For now, I should investigate a little and talk to the others. But where to go first? Awesome. Oh, so can we? Oh. We can go to these different areas. Oh, I bet the kids at the piano. Just like we should be at the billiards table. Who do we think will be where? I kind of want to go in the bathroom. Because it's like out of sight of everything. Background yet to be completed. That's okay. He wasn't expecting to find much, but he thought he might as well check out the bathroom. At least the one he could enter without feeling bad. The other would have to be taken care of by the women. And while he was at it... Just when he was about to enter, the old man with the alias vodka came out. Both of them reacted in time, stopping. Oh, we almost ran into each other, young man. Excuse me, I'll be more careful. Did you look into it? What? The restroom? When you reach my age, this becomes sacred grounds. One day you'll understand, young one. Especially if there's whiskey or alcohol involved. That's assuming we get out of here, of course. That's the second time you made that joke, man. Don't give me that face. I was born pessimistic, and it's only gotten worse with time. Oh dear. Thankfully, this doesn't seem like it will last for more than a day, so we'll know our fate soon enough. It also means we won't have any food issues. Now that would be hell, let me tell you. I still don't have a plan, but I will look for a way out, without losing lives. An idealist, I see. That's the spark of youth. Good for you. Certainly, a happy ending would be ideal, but if we do end up having to play this ghoulish game, where only 3 can survive... Well, I think we can all agree on one thing. Those who have more life ahead of them should have priority when it comes to surviving. I'm telling ya, that he's gonna give his life for the kid. Vodka was right, but that didn't change that it was hard to hear. He didn't know how old he could be, but even if it was more than 80 years, it still wouldn't be very pleasant to hear him imply he would be a sacrifice. Here comes the face again. Should you really be worrying so much about me? I'm just some old fart. Surely the only reason I'm here is because I'm an easy target. No. That small scream... Oh, wait. Was that me screaming? That small scream caught Vodka off guard and also surprised Bill himself. Age doesn't take away a life's value. Killing is off the table, but we can't be killed either. I'm not looking for my death either. If I was, I would already have screamed my number aloud. So he does have a number. I simply don't have the energy nor motivation to play this game seriously. Moreover, if number 1 came to me armed, I wouldn't have the strength to protect myself. In that case, I'll protect you. Well, careful what we say in case we get the protector role. Eh? Oh, we're making an ally? I don't think you'd make for a very good bodyguard, to be honest. I won't stop you if you keep insisting on taking care of me like a nanny, but I insist it's not necessary. I understand that you'd feel bad if anybody died. It's obvious that it's not pretty to see a body, or even worse, smell it. But I can take care of my own. That's not what you said earlier. You fancy yourself a lawyer now? Looking for contradictions? I love contradictions. Do whatever you want to do, as long as you don't let me be a weight on your shoulders. See, I knew he wasn't joking earlier when he was making those jokes. If you died protecting me, that wouldn't make me very happy either, see? Understood. Very good. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a priority. Hopefully, we'll find a way to survive, and this game will all be water under the bridge. Yes, I'll search here. Maybe there's something that can help us. Maybe we can rip out one of the toilets and find a hole that we can crawl through. Like what? The poison is the reason we're trapped here, but the antidotes must be somewhere if we find a way to get them. I suppose, yes. They won't be in the restroom, though. Probably not, but maybe there's a secret passage that leads to the antidotes or outside. Even if we have the poison, we can't get to a hospital in time. No, even if we have the poison, we can't get to a hospital in time. We could be saved. He was clearly improvising. He needed to convince himself that there was hope. Don't want to be the pie pooper, but after doing my business, I did do a quick check for anything interesting and came out empty-handed. No secret door to the outside to speak of, sorry to say. Unless I just missed it, so be my guest. Try your luck with that optimism of yours. If there was a secret door, it would be well hidden, so maybe by searching thoroughly. There it is. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Vodka left and Bill proceeded with his search. No secret door appeared, nor anything of value. Whoops. Do we get to go to all of these places within the 15 minutes that we have? Or do we, like, I'm not sure. I would like to go here. I want to go to them all, but again, we're running long. Let's go near the fish tank. He decided to make his way to the area with the large fish tank. In addition to the tank, there were tables and sofas, among them, a person. The young woman known as Coffee, who wasn't deaf. She was investigating alone, to no surprise from him, even barely after meeting her the first time. Is that a menu? One needn't be a private detective to clue into the likely fact that she wasn't the most sociable person there, and being trapped there with people she didn't know wouldn't help. And yet, it's because things are the way they are that we shouldn't help each other out. We should help oh dear, I shouldn't be changing words like that. We should help each other out. We can't get through this alone. He had to earn everyone's trust, and of course, he was willing to trust them in return. But it shouldn't be blind faith. They had to talk, to know each other, and to understand each other, stand together as victims of the same crime. Unfortunately, getting to a mutual understanding with others had never been his forte, so he had to give it his all to make it happen. And that young woman, Coffee, could potentially be one of the biggest obstacles on the way there. One he had to overcome to succeed the joint alliance he wanted. I don't know. She might be alright one-on-one. She might just not have patience for groups. What should I say to her? How should I act? Casual? Serious? Do I have to choose? Last time went awful. I guess a different approach would make the most sense, but I would say direct. I think she would appreciate directness. No, to make her open up to us, I have to prove to her I don't have any bad intentions. I need to be friendly. Direct. Don't beat around the bush. It's the most natural way, and acting differently now would make me look suspicious. Am I overthinking it? It's not like I'm trying to flirt with her. I'm not even looking for a friendship. Just... Realizing he had to stop, he gave himself a small whack to the head. He didn't have enough time to waste deep in thought. In only a few hours, the danger would turn unavoidably lethal. It was time to act. He approached her with determination while she kept looking around the place, seemingly, completely oblivious to his presence, even after having stood there for a couple of minutes and, coffee. Oh, they have their own music. She looked at him for a moment, once again confirming she wasn't deaf, and with no response went back to what she was doing. Did I screw up again so fast? What did I do wrong? She doesn't have anything against me, does she? No, it made sense. In fact, as much as he didn't want to admit it, behaving otherwise was a strange way to act. Each person had a different reaction to stress situation like that one. Still, some seemed to have gotten too comfortable too quickly, perhaps even himself. In fact, maybe he was the one acting the strangest. Exactly, just be direct. Her decision to talk when necessary and keep everyone away was probably the safest and most logical approach. Maybe if you're playing the game... No, it's not though, because isolating yourself is bad in a social deduction scenario. At the same time, it was slightly worrying. Isolation could put her in danger, exactly. Slightly concerned, he went up to her. Hey, want me to help? No. For an instant, he just smiled for getting an answer, but the smile disappeared as soon as he understood the response. I understand that you don't trust me, but we should help each other out to survive. The others could see you as suspicious if you keep your distance too much, and... So what? Her words caught Bill by surprise, leaving his mind blank for a moment. Well, that could be dangerous. I can take care of my own. Go somewhere else. Total rejection. Her straightforward answers left no room for comebacks, and insisting on it would most likely just have the opposite effect. He hadn't expected making a joint alliance was going to be easy, but things were much worse than he'd anticipated. Even so, he had no intentions of backing down. He considered his inability to do so as one of his one and only gift, so he had to make good use of it. That was the time to act. If the group shattered from the start, it would all go from bad to worse. The only thing that could lead to was a tragedy. Well, I guess. I just wanted to make it clear that we shouldn't see each other as enemies. We can't let this game influence us. Do you prefer us all dying together? No, we have to escape together. Every one of us. Sure. Sure? What is that supposed to mean? I thought she was looking for a way out, but... You aren't gonna join in this madness, are you? Not silence again. Who knows? No doubt left, he did not know how to deal with that person. At least she hadn't said yes. Could he consider that a partial win? Let's just go for now. No idea how to deal with this woman. He had lost the battle, but not the war. He left the area to coffee and went back the way he came. There were still areas to explore. His next destination would be... How many have we got? We've got 3 left. Oh, we have to do it. God dang. Okay. Lower area. Who's down here? Bill went down the steps to the lower section of the bar where he had woken up. The area looked like an extension, so the bar could have more clients. On the other side, he could see a bigger table than the others. And between him and it, on one of the smaller tables, were Lime and Jin having a chat. Lime sitting literally on the table, while Jin was on a chair. Ugh, we shouldn't have come down here. Bill! Oh, thingy. Get your Yushiro over here. Hayaku. What? Her wide smile didn't come as very trustworthy, yet he didn't sense any ill will from her. What sort of education did your parents give you? No Nipponese? Well, not exactly something your parents teach you, is it? What? Nani? It was still too soon, too daring to try unraveling the enigma that was that girl, but her intense vibes were completely different from those he felt from the others. Was he being too trustful? Perhaps, as he couldn't just say with complete confidence that no one there would just out of nowhere stab him in the back at any time. But when it came Lime, I don't think she's even thinking about the game. That could be a front though as well, right? Somebody really smart would want you to think that. Bill went up to the table and sat down with them. Any look over here? Did you find out anything? Tables and chairs. Bill, my boy, it's lamentable to say, but we found nothing useful. I don't understand. As lamentable. As a wise old man said, if you want to be richer, don't go looking for the gold. Let the gold find you. Okay, she's punny. I didn't understand any of it. For the love of God, Lime. What? That was unacceptable. The wink. What in the world is wrong with these two? What if we just smile, nod, and back away slowly? And if that wasn't enough, they give us a texting app but don't let us use it? Huh? Where did that come from? You know, the message app thingy these phones have? If we could at least use it, this whole thing would be a tiny bit less awful. The messages are only for us. Highly doubt we can send them to people outside. You sure? No, trust me. I'm very sure. I explained on the damn thing. Only numbers, aka us. The intriguing bit is that apparently it only shows our numbers, not our names. Oh. Only the 8 can send them, right? Not quite. It's the only one that can start a chat and continue it. But we have to answer if talked to. Then what the hell Sinky are we waiting for? Jesus Louise. Don't worry, dear. I'm sure they'll send the marriage proposal soon. Oh my. Anyways, let's leave that aside. Wait, who are you talking about? Bill, what's your view on things? What things? You know, the situation. Any idea what all this is? Murder game? I'll be honest, I'm still pretty lost. Still? If you remain still, you'll never not be lost, dude. That's not... Wait. Huh? That's not what I meant. I'm still thinking, but I won't give up until I find a way to solve this. Even if you keep thinking forever, that doesn't mean you're gonna find something. Or what? Are you one of those idiots that just having hope will save them? Not sure how to respond to that. Yeah, Ginger's right. Ginger? This mess seems pretty damn complex, my dudes. If we want to get out of it, we're gonna need to do some actual galaxy brain planning. But if we don't at least try, we're never gonna get anywhere. Bill, it's not about getting anywhere, but about getting allwhere. Always. I can't cope with that. What? Lame, dear. I think you just covered in your slime all dictionaries in existence. What? Phew, what would you know? These puns don't even make sense. I think I'll go look elsewhere. Good idea. Same. Okay, but don't come with me. Bill went back up the stairs to the main section of the bar. There were still places to check. His next destination would be... Let's go to the piano. We'll go to the counter last. Bill moved to the area where the piano lay. It's gonna be the kid. It wasn't too far from the counter, or what seemed to be the entrance of the bar. A blank wall piano stood out among the rest of the furnishing. He didn't know very much about instruments, but assumed it was a very good amount. It was worth a very good amount. Yeah, I imagine. It wasn't the only item of value there either. Sitting at the opposite wall laid a jukebox, clearly quite old, yet well maintained. A rarity in the modern era. He then noticed two people that were also searching through that section of the bar. The kid, who had received the name Piano, had seemingly caught interest in the book collection, while the grown woman Cigar seemed to be inspecting the jukebox's musical section. Any good ones? Yes, but I doubt you'll know any. Quite aged by now. As expected from a jukebox. Exactly. It's been a while since I last saw one. Must be pretty valuable. Then this bar has to be quite old too, right? Not necessarily, but this thing, no doubt. And how about you, Piano? What's in there? Piano had been, up until then, digging through the shelves in silence. Don't see anything special. It's mostly only musical scores. But there's also philosophically... Okay, that's not how you... philosophy books and other stuff. Anything could be relevant? Supposedly there were hints, information about them and their numbers hidden throughout. But they would have to search every nook and cranny to find them. It was actually possible that someone had found something already and was hiding it. But that didn't matter to Bill. Hints were only useful to win the game, and he had no intention of surviving that way. Not sure. There could be information in some of them. There's a lot though. Finding something won't be easy. Piano. Any title catching your attention? Well... Metaphysics sounds important. What's that? Oof, that's too complicated. Not for your age. Age? I'm young, not stupid. I don't know what metaphysics is. Actually, not so much about the age. I wouldn't get it either. Yeah, exactly. Sorry to interrupt, but are you really looking for clues? Well, yeah, we'll have to find who has the dangerous rules, like 1 and 4. Right, those are dangerous, but killing them isn't the answer. We aren't looking for clues specifically. We know nothing of this place. There could be something helpful hidden around. We don't even know what a clue looks like at this point. So, like, we're just literally looking. That's it. Or at least something to figure out who put all this stuff together or where we are. There is a map on the wall. Okay, on that I agree. Whatevs. Piano didn't seem willing to abandon the search for hints, but also couldn't deny what Bill was saying. Also, the hints seemed to have personal information about us. We'd be invading others' privacy. How do you know? What hint? And they'll go in the data panel, right? And on our phone. That gives me the creeps. Just thinking that they really know things about us. We have to work together to escape this place. Antagonizing each other won't lead to anything good. Though this damn game also allows for allies, have you looked at the links section? Didn't mean that type of alliance. Yes, I know, but it reminded me of that. If two players' numbers added up to 10, they could form a link which allowed them to break their companion's rule. But that wasn't the type of bonds that Will was looking for. Links could only lead to pairs fighting one another. And how do you find out someone else's number is the thing? And if you're linked with them, they also know your number. It just seems dangerous. Isn't that very limited, having to add to 10? I'd say. And the ones... Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. The ones with 5 and 10 can't do it. It seems a bit badly designed. That's one thing I don't understand. Isn't 10 about links and they can't link with anyone? Rule 10 was another restriction. Links could only be done once and lasted an hour at most. Limitation that the person with the Rule 10 didn't have but couldn't benefit from? Maybe that's to make number 10 a target? However, it also had the power of spy mode, the mysterious function that could make up for it. On the other hand, Rule 5 was a whole other story. Let's keep looking, there has to be something. Okay, fine, but if you find a clue, hide it so nobody gets in danger. Sure. He didn't sound very convinced, but pressing him wasn't a good idea. I have my eye on him. He concluded the conversation and left. His investigation had to continue. His next destination would be the counter, I guess, is the last one. And it's gonna be poker and darts, right? This isn't the counter, this is the billiard table thingy that I wanted to go to. Okay, Bill headed to the counter. Not too far from it was the billiard table between the entrance and the counter. I still really like these plant holes. Maybe it was because of the name he'd been given, but it was the first thing he'd noticed. A game he had never tried. Is it just pool? I think it's just pool, right? Why was he billiards? It could be the names were given at random, but some seemed to fit, or so he thought. There really wasn't any rule forbidding them from saying their real names, or forcing them to use those nicknames, but nobody seemed willing to give their name in that situation, and it was quicker to use the nicknames they'd been given than thinking up new ones. While he had no idea of the reason behind his own, he wasn't against it. Bill was a short name, easy to remember, and ordinary. Nothing wrong with it. Do you care for a drink? Someone addressed him from the counter. The man with the nickname Cocktail had put himself behind it, and before him were the men named Darts and Poker. Poker was drinking, while Darts seemed focused on his barman. Yeah, Darts was on his barman before as well. I noticed that. Could be number 8, or whichever one the message rule was. He approached them. Right. No, right now I'm not. Wait, is drinking here safe? What if the poison is in the alcohol all along? A concern suddenly struck him. They were on some unknown bar, basically having been kidnapped. Could they trust that the drinks weren't dangerous? They could be a trap. I can't say it with total confidence, but I do believe that we can drink without fear. After all, we have already been poisoned as part of this game, supposedly. I don't see a good reason why they would poison us again, or put any other type of substance. Exactly, but we will know for sure soon. It also seems to be in good conditions, in my expert opinion. Expert opinion? On the topic of nicknames that fit perfectly, that was probably the best example. They had just been put in that state of affairs, yet Cocktail was serving drinks in the most natural way possible. His ease, his way of talking, his ability to serve drinks, and his expertise. All signs pointed to him being a bartender or something of the sort, and he had no intention of hiding it. Perhaps that was his way of calming down in that situation, to act as if he was working. I believe we can apply that to this place as a whole. This is not an abandoned bar. The one behind all this, its organizer, has to be the owner. Any statements you want to make? Me? Oh? Oh, is this a confrontation? Are you by any chance accusing me of something? No, that would be too obvious, but if you're as much of an expert as you seem to be, it's possible you might know this bar. Just taking a look at the art, since it's really close up as well. Very cool. I'm afraid not. A shame. After a small pause, he lifted his gaze from the barman and... What's the best place to hide a tree? And immediately went back to his screen. A tree? What? What? Did I read that wrong? I see. Well, we won't get bored, that's for sure. Barman. Another one. Wait. Maybe barman isn't the best way to call you. Could get confusing. Oh, right away. And just cocktail is probably the best option. Getting out of his little daze, Cocktail served him another glass. A tree. That was implying that everyone there seemed to have understood. Something that everyone there seemed to have understood. I didn't understand it. Cocktail wasn't amused at all, but tried to hide it, showing his professionalism. Polka was the other way around, grinning, getting some fun from it. In that situation, how could anyone smile? And not just Polka, Darts also appeared to be getting some enjoyment out of it. How could somebody be playing detective with their life on the line? He couldn't believe it. Maybe it was all a hidden camera prank, right? They must be thinking that. Oh, are they still in that kind of disbelief and they're just trying to have fun? They think they're on like Kidnapped Big Brother or something? Even though he wanted to believe it, hope that would go... Oh god, I didn't like that noise there. Sounded like someone was rattling on a door. Even though he wanted to believe it, hope that it would all go well. He couldn't. He had to assume the worst case scenario and act upon it. Something made him do it. Something. Are you feeling alright? Ah, yes. Well, no, not really. I was just thinking though. Oh, I see. You haven't come to terms with this yet. Well, yeah, same here. Did y'all check out this thing's secrets? Polka raised his barman. Unfortunately, attending this counter has occupied all of my time for now, so I wasn't able to. Well, there's something good. This owner isn't completely the worst. Huh? What's good about any of this? The objectives. You know that thing mentioned in Rule 9? We don't have one in the first hour, so we can chill. You sure about that? We might not have any, but we can't just simply lie back. For starters, we have new data every hour. Ah, that. Yeah, I saw. Now that you mention it, I didn't. Yes, I did! I looked! Due to Rule 7, they could only unlock one data per hour. He still wasn't quite sure what it meant by data, but the best way to find out was to see one. That appeared to be the main component of that game, making use of that information to deduce the numbers of the other players to then purge them. He didn't want to take part in it, especially if there was personal info about the others, though it was a potential way to discover his own number, still unknown to him for some reason. He refused. Although, was there really information about them? That, on the topic of kidnapping, their privacy had been invaded wasn't a big surprise, but hurt nonetheless. I still think we should look for science because we don't want to deny ourselves of information. With resignation, he opened the data menu. Yeah. There was nothing more than a number list, which could be opened in any order. According to the rules, they could only unlock one data per hour. However, the one in possession of Rule 7 could ignore that limitation. As there was no indication of its contents that could guide him, he decided to start with number 1. Are these corresponding to the rules? Likes black coffee. 1, 5, 7, 9. Something ordinary and harmless while at the same time disturbing. How did their captain know about their taste in coffee? Instinctively, he took a side glance at the counter, but nobody was drinking coffee at that time, making him immediately feel bad for checking. Assuming this is true, I don't have any of these 4 rules. Oh, this will help us narrow down. So we're either 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Too bitter for his taste. He sighed in relief. Of the 10 possible rules he could possess, 4 were now out of consideration. But that relief didn't last long as he realized what it meant. Not having rule 1 meant someone else from the 9 people there had it. Someone with the right to kill. In case of number 5, it was the wildcard rule, which could be swapped with a dying one. As he wanted to avoid any death, it wasn't of any interest to him. Not having rule 7 meant someone else had access to a large amount of information from the start to freely use. So number 7 gets all of those. Lastly, 9 meant he had to take the objective he'd received seriously. What was 9? Though there was one piece of good news, the chance of his rule being 2 hadn't gone away, so he could get out and look for help. And number 7 can grab all their data straight off. That's a huge advantage. True, very true. And Darts has been sat looking at the phone for a long time. Likely the most dangerous player at the start. I think Darts could be 7. He put his barman away and got up. Darts is right. Even without an objective, we can't waste any time. He says that, yet he's just sitting there. Yes, but he's not getting drunk. First things first, and first priority is getting my head cleared. By getting drunk, right? No, I'm not gonna drink that much. Just a bit. Then I would advise you to stop soon. Yes, and I'll go and search around some more. Have fun. He left, heading somewhere else. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh my god, a bug. Okay. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Right. Okay. I think the game's just completely oh, it's back? How weird. It bugged. It gave me a pop-up with an error code and stuff. And then it's just continued. I've never had that happen before, but I did take a screenshot, so maybe I can pass it on to the devs. Let's see if it actually works. Yo, guys. Bill heard a shout coming from somewhere else in the bar. That was right after I'd finished looking at all 5 of the different areas. That voice was... Check the time! We're at the council, aren't we? I have to do it. This is going to be a 3-hour plus video. The time. Bill looked at his barman. 40. It took him a moment to realize what that meant. As if a light bulb had turned on in his head, he remembered that part of the rules, or be precise, the core rules. 45. All players present in the Golden Jack will have to participate in a council. Okay. Which meant there were 5 minutes left. If they didn't carry it out, they would break the rules, resulting in... And just as he did, the device started beeping, an alarm. Quickly, he rushed to the center of the bar, expecting to find everyone there. The rest had the same thought, as upon arriving, half of them were already there. Hey, Billy! The young woman waved her hand. She had been the one shouting earlier. It seemed weird to him that, of all people, she was the one to notice that they had to move. She's probably acting so aloof. Or at least, the first one to warn everyone. If someone forgot the rules and didn't join the council, their fate would be sealed. Would it? I guess that classed as breaking a rule. It was good to see that at least one person there seemed to care for everyone's well-being. Nah. As soon as someone decided to play seriously, trying to win, everything would change. In that calm before the storm, with the game still on its early stage, they had to familiarize themselves with it as fast as possible and prepare for the worst. Only a few minutes left. If we got a debate, we need to look for a suitable place. Being together isn't good enough. Being together isn't good enough? What are we gonna debate even? We still don't have much information, but we need to fulfill Rule 3 to survive. Someone must give out their number. But it can be a lie, and now's the easiest time to lie, right? Yeah, well, more like lie about your number. And if the lie is proven, no one's going to be like, I can prove that you are lying because that's my number. Right? So there's no way of proving anything right now. That person would have to reveal their number. Unless number 7 could prove it by having the extra data, but that would then reveal they were number 7. No one can say anything. They all knew the consequences, but someone had to take that risk so everyone could survive one more hour. Playing the game was out of the question for him. Most likely none of them wanted to seriously do it, yet maybe they all would. All but him. He cared for his life, of course, but he would never approve of that sickening game. So, as long as he could, he would rebel against it. I think we need to agree on one thing. The time had come, while everyone was trying to wrap their heads around the game. For starters, killing wasn't an easy matter for the time being. Only number 1 could do so directly. The only other way to do it was using the spiral, the objective that actually forced the kill by revealing someone's secret objective. Oh, I didn't understand that. However, according to the explanation on the barman, it wouldn't appear until the 6th hour. So the only way they had to remove someone at this point was to figure out their number and then convince the majority to accuse them. So if no one accuses for 6 hours, we have 6 hours to figure this out. It needed time and preparation to succeed, meaning that it was the perfect time to act, and maybe even only one. He had to use it to create a peaceful deal with everyone, to prolong their lives as much as possible. Enlighten us, Billy boy. Nobody wants their numbers revealed, but we need to give 1 fake number per hour until we've all done it. So we should pact an order and not point out the others' lies. We need to work together to get past Rule 3 without putting at risk our own number. Everyone there looked around, uncomfortable. At that moment, the rest arrived. Vodka being the last one, moving at his own pace. Come on, Gramps. Yes, you can. Don't force these old gears. Time doesn't wait. I think he knows more than all of us. No, and in fact, we're almost out of time. What Bill offers would be just, but we will have to talk about it on the council. So, where do we sit? Rules don't say anything on that, so I guess it's wherever. How about the counter? A little hard to see each other if we're all lined up. Yeah, one of the tables would be better. Oh, light bulb's on. Let's do it on the table, TM. Oh, please, no ads. I'm not paying no matter what extras it has. Or if you sell me 2 for the price of 1. I think she just means the big table down the stairs. Sure, seems like a good spot. Although, will it be big enough for us all? Only one way to find out. One by one, they walked down the steps to the lower part of the bar, gathering around the big table. At the seats, they borrowed some nearby seat chairs and sofas. Ah, cozy. C'est magnifique. Magnifique thingy thing. Where did that puff come from? Don't even think about taking it. It's mine. Oh, this. Okay, I see. That doesn't answer my question. Unless it's literally yours and you had it hidden somewhere somehow. But I don't think that's it. Why does it matter where that came from? You underestimate my power. What? Don't listen to her. We found it lying around here, and she's been craving to use it ever since. And I've bought one of the counter's tall stools for piano. I don't need that. You'll be too tiny with one of those chairs. I'm not tiny. But you want to be taller, right? Silently, he sat on the stool. The seats were being filled. Bill had to decide which to take. Perhaps noticing his indecision, Chin looked at him and pointed at the empty space on the sofa she was sitting in. The offer was too cozy to pass up. Right, well, I guess we're sitting on the sofa. It's got no arms. Once they sat down, everything was ready, just in time. So now what? Excuse me if I'm a tad slow, but I still have barely a clue. Not alone there, Gramps. It was on that moment when the time came. All barmans turned on with a new message. Your participation in the council is required until its closure. Close proximity barmans detected. All start requirements cleared. The council menu will be available during its course. This message won't be repeated in future councils. Cool. So this is the council menu. Before they could ready themselves, it started. The first council. Are you telling me we're not getting the council? Oh no, we probably will, right? This happened last time. Okay. I was like, don't not let me have it now. I've committed. Come on, spit it all out. What exactly? I don't know, anything. Not anything. According to the rules, we must debate using the data we've obtained. And one person must fulfill Rule 3. I believe the last part should take priority. Anyone willing? Like I said before, yes, we should consider Bill's proposal. If after that someone is willing to tell us the data they have received. About that, I think the data should be kept secret for now, to protect everyone's numbers. But then we can't play the game. That's the point. Keep up, piano. But I don't want to. But if we don't all die... Wait, I don't want to. But if we all die, we can avoid it for now. But sooner or later, someone will. Okay. Let's calm down. We'll talk about that later, alright? Let's start with Rule 3. Excuse this interruption on this momentous occasion, but it is needed. Who am I, you ask? Let's just say I'm a voice in your head. One that not even the rule known as billiards can hear. Only you. And don't mistake me for a mere narrator either. Introductions can wait. Before proceeding, an explanation of what's going on to happen is essential. The first council is about to start. How exciting. During a council, your dominion over time will be restricted, or in other words, its flow will advance without your consent. Make sure to pay attention. Do not miss a single phrase. I'm too slow for this. But lucky for you, not all is outside your grasp. Your access to saves, loads, and the backlog will also be lost. Your barman will remain at hand so you can check any detail, although not at every instant. During councils, you will have to make some decisions, as you probably imagined, but these ones will have a greater impact than the ones prior, and the only way to see all the possible paths is restarting the council anew. And with that, we reach the final key point, your goal during any council, maintaining its tension under control. Tension is a simple concept, barely in need of explanation. Fights, disputes, quarrels, suspense, all those will increase the tension that the rules feel, and thus the council's rhythm will too. If it gets too high, remaining in control will be impossible, and the only conclusion possible will be failure. If that happens, you will have to go back to the start of the council, so do all you can to keep that tension low. That's where your choices will matter. The choice of words of the rule billiards. There is another way to influence tension, but I will leave that explanation for later, when it becomes relevant. Do keep in mind though, that not all shifts in tension will be a consequence of your actions. However, if it reaches its maximum due to others, only your mistakes will cause a defeat. Finally, before we begin, let's adjust the council's rhythm, or at least the part that's under your control, unaffected by tension. Adjust the message speed and wait before it disappears. This message will show the result. Find a balance between... Oh my god. This message will show the result. Find a balance between difficulty and comfort. You must be able to read them and understand them without rushing nor losing a good rhythm. Once you're done, click the arrow on the right. Oh wait, is the wait how long it stays on the screen? Yeah. Try this one. The message will show the result. Find a balance between difficulty and comfort. You must be able to read them and understand them well without rushing nor losing a good rhythm. Once you're done, click the arrow on the right. Oh my god. Adjust the message speed and the wait before it disappears. This message will show the result. Find a balance between difficulty... I think I need it slower. Adjust the message speed and the wait before it disappears. This message will show the result. Okay, that's really slow. Let's try 3 and 5. A speed of 3 and a wait of 5. I see. So be it. You can change these settings at any time during a council in the settings pause menu. Right click. Okay. Note that speed includes a 6 option, the last one, which makes all tests appear immediately. This one was not included in these settings due to being impractical in councils, but it's still available on the pause menu if you wish for an impossible challenge. In Wait's case, it shares the same settings as auto time. These settings will only apply to councils. After their conclusion, they will be saved for the next one and replaced back with the previous settings. Now it's finally time to start. I would wish you luck, but I do not believe you will need it in this council. Moreover, I am not on your side. I'm only a neutral observer. Is this the owner? Why is he talking to me? Oh god. It's council time. We gotta keep the tension low. We're not trying to get anyone killed. We're trying to get everyone saved. I like that noise. Okay, so let's start, Bill. Yes, well, as I said, according to the rule 3, we all have to give out a number, 1 per council, until we've all done it. Okay, this is good. I'm guessing we can all agree that saying all of them at once isn't a good idea. It would make us too vulnerable. So, the most reasonable option is agreeing on an order and swearing not to reveal the other's lies. Now that you mention it, young man, how does this revealing of lies work? It's a good question. It's on the clarification screen with the depth of the numbers holder or using data and hints. Oh, okay. So wait, if someone says there are number 2, for example, and the real number 2 comes out, that doesn't count? Not unless they prove it. Right, we can claim to be whatever number we want, but we can't show the screen of our thing. Barman. Its name's Barman. Oh, don't clash! It's not that I forgot it. If you say so. Okay, I think this is the tension level. Only irrefutable evidence counts. Like in a trial, I guess. So, what do you think? You missed one important detail. I wonder if on purpose. What did I miss? Which? You said we all have to eventually fulfill Rule 3. 1 per hour. Well, I guess in theory, whoever has that rule doesn't. But if they don't, gotcha! I didn't mean that, but it's related. Are you talking about people dying? The individual with Rule 3 dies, that rule disappears, we never have to worry about it again. They're missing the point that we don't want anyone to die. Yeah, sure, but... If he says that, he can't be 3. Someone write that down. Take it more seriously, Lime. Or that's what he wants us to think. Or maybe, Bill didn't mention this detail because, in his head, the possibility of 3 dying is impossible. Or in other words, he is 3. Oh my god, that's... Come on, work with me here. Immediately, all attention focused on Bill. He wasn't expecting it to end up in that situation. He didn't know his own number, and the data he had received didn't rule out 3. Oh dear. Oh, shite. Admit. He took a deep breath, tried to calm down, and spoke. Because we can't just deny it, because then we'll have to deny everything. I can't deny that I could be. But as Poker said, we shouldn't suspect so soon. Oh god. It's still too soon to assume anything. When did I say that again? Well, before? Don't remember that. Oh god! Well, but it's true. It's still too soon to... It's not. We have 10 hours to the end of the game. Yeah. If we lose time, everyone but 4 dies. Maybe he's 4 and that's why he's trying to slow us down. Ah! This isn't good. Everything's getting out of control. I'm only trying to be reasonable, but we can talk about that later. Let's focus on this first, as we said. Yes, speculation can wait for later. I could have a little bit less wait time, but if I get lost... So, back to what I was saying. What do you think? Salutations again. I need to interrupt once more. Consider it a good chance to relax, but for a moment. How is the council going? Alright? No need to answer, I can't hear you. It's time to explain the last council topic. Interventions. Sometimes during a council, the scene will be represented visually as a game of pool or billiards, with each player shown as a ball bearing their symbol. Don't panic, it's only an imaginary depiction. Okay. When a light gets cast on Billiard's dark brown ball and it starts to shake, an opportunity to intervene will present itself. You can then decide to change the course of the conversation, for better or for worse. Placing your cursor on top of the ball will let you see what Billiards is thinking. Use that information to predict what he will say if he chimes in, and press if you decide to take it. However, remember that intervening implies an interruption. You cannot do it once the speaker has stopped. Okay, so yeah, we'll miss it if we don't do it immediately. Intervening impulsively is risky, but so is hesitation. If you take too long, the shown intervention will disappear. And the only way back is to start the council from scratch, unless the same opportunity comes back naturally during the conversation. Otherwise, your authority to speed up time will come in useful. Do you know what I'm talking? You do know what I'm talking about, right? The control over time? Not to be confused with the other more direct method. I may have said too much. I was just making sure. Like skipping text we've already seen? On that note, time will slow down while you're inside Billiard's mind. By how much will depend on the text speed you've chosen. A big help, but don't relax too much, as each chance to intervene can last from just a single phrase to who knows. You'll have to use your intuition and interpret the flow of the discussion. But don't stress over it too much. There's more than one path to victory, usually. A perfect performance isn't needed. Just make sure not to let the tension build up too much, and sooner or later you'll reach a destination, be it a favorable one or not. Being your first time, however, I'll give you one small piece of advice. You'd do well in taking the first intervention to come. It will only last for one line, so it'll only be a few seconds to take it. Be ready. That is all, and with that, my council explanation is complete. Simple, right? And now, the reason for his nickname should be obvious. I hope I didn't ruin that mystery too soon for you. Time to go back into the action. He thinks in billiards? Okay, let's see if I got this. Bilbo's idea is that we make a bunch of rock, paper, scissors to decide the order of whose sacrifices in each council. Whoa! Yes, except the rock, paper, scissors part you made up. Well, whatevs. Details. Point is, someone will choose an order that we'll both have to promise to keep with a blood oath. I want no part in that. A blood infection is the last thing I need. How do I know when the intervention's gonna happen? Also made up. Hey, blood oaths aren't made up. They're an important cultural thing somewhere, probably. Respect. Oh goodness. Just admit you pulled that from your ass. Listen, no jokes here. This is serious. We decided an order and we follow it. No need to overthink it. It's not that complicated. Okay, yeah, good. And furthermore, not revealing the other's lies. I'm just thinking, like, each of these are representing a person. If we assume that rule 3 will remain for a while, it's a reasonable proposal. Cocktail. Which one's oh! I hate it because it told me to. For now, let's assume nobody will get eliminated. Nobody? That would be great, but that's hoping too much. Heck, I might have a heart attack at any time. No killer needed. Well, let's assume nothing will happen for a few hours at least. Assumptions are great, except when our lives depend on them. Let's say we do it. 1 or 2 people say a number, and then number 3 dies. The rest of us get saved, but what about them? They won't get affected by the rule anymore. In that case, rule 3 disappeared. Those who said a number, even if it's proven later that they lied, won't have to give their real one. So there's no consequences. Alright, now I feel dumb. Thank goodness! No problemo, right? Oof. Because I was like, what is this? Something I've overlooked here? They seem to be getting it now. There's still hope. Because I'm not 100% clear on it all. Everyone doing rule 3 will lie. That's just logic. So even if the rule goes away, those people will still be more vulnerable. Then we can draw straws. And why is that? Because they'll know they're not that number. Yeah, we'll have one less number to suspect them for, because the one they gave would be incorrect. That could screw someone over later, but we're not intending on playing the game. Please, that's obvious. And one more danger when it comes to rule 3, albeit minor. And what if someone doesn't lie? That would be dangerous? Oh, duh. If you say your number, everyone will think you lied and won't suspect you. That tactic is way too risky. And now that you've said it, everyone will suspect whatever number you say. Well, that's good though. That's what we want, right? Oh, poopy. If number 3 is eliminated, that's a valid strategy. Otherwise, it's suicide. Don't panic. Just don't do it. That's all. It's fine. How? Let's say, for example, that number 1 says their real number, trying to pass it off as a lie. If we accuse him of being number 1, he'll be eliminated. No kidding, that's why I said it was risky. Yeah, maybe don't do that. But according to rule, which was it? 6. 6, ah yes, that one. Wait, how did you know which one I meant? It could be a bit faster if I did the weight different, but I would have gotten lost during the billiards bit. Well, rule 6 says that if a majority fails after accusing someone, that person gets protected. So accusing someone of being number they just said can take them out if it is true. But if they lied, they become immune. So I don't think looking to kill would accuse without being sure. I'm lost. In fact, the logical assumption is that nobody will tell the truth, so there's no point in accusing them. Yeah, okay, I understand that. So telling the truth, although risky, can save you, at least in the short term. Don't get that bit. No, it's suicide. Listen, for your own good. Even if there's a chance of lying, or even if it's actually a lie, accusing someone of the number they just gave will lead to their death. Yeah, we're not supposed to be accusing at all. Just maybe not right away. Actually, for a while, their survival will be guaranteed. But if they are accused and it's incorrect, their lie will be proven and they'll have to reveal their number. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Rule 6 will protect them for some time, but as soon as that rule falls or the majority changes, they'll be the first to go. Silence. No objections. They all knew Jin was right. Without rule 3, that wouldn't be true, but that applies from the moment you give a number, real or false. And nobody would have a reason to do it without rule 3. So basically, if you say the truth, you can be killed, and if you lie, you'll have it harder to survive later on. Yeah. It may not guarantee your death, but lying is way better option than the truth. God damn it! Wait a moment. That's only true if a majority accuses the one who just gave a number. Someone here would really do that right now? Heat raised. Many stares moved around the table, but nobody answered. They had finally reached the core topic of the discussion. Accusations. Rule 3 was urgent, but all of them knew deep down that somebody would fulfill it to avoid death. Are we going to be the ones that does it? What was truly important was the game itself. Who would participate seriously? Who was mentally prepared to kill another human being? Uh-oh. This is it. I have to get through them somehow. Through to them somehow. Uh-oh. It's too fast. I don't understand what's happening there. I understand how you feel, but... Could you live happily after killing? Is your life really more important? We can play the young card. Because the alternative, could you live happily after killing, is... Okay, well, we'll die then. Like, that's what they're gonna say. Maybe. Oh, but this sounds like it's gonna be the wrong choice, but it also makes the more sense to me. Because based on the conversation we had with Vodka and that, I think this could get some people on our side. The non-narcissists. Uh-oh. But we're all human. Everyone's lives should still have the same value, right? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Legally and morally speaking, yes. Doesn't matter much here, though. It saddens me to say that our kidnapper does not appear to have a high opinion of the law. I'm not egocentric, but sorry, Billy boy. Something, it can't be helped. What? This was bad. We're human. Even if we know we'll die eventually, we try to postpone it no matter what. Yes, we are selfish, and that makes us human. Everyone is uniting against me. If you're trying to convince us to let us be killed for the sake of others, your argument never had a chance. No. Bah. A meteor from space could fall for all I care. Well, elder aside, we all think differently. Fuck! I made a mistake. If we go by that, I'm the youngest. I should have priority. That's what I was trying to do. I don't think we can save this now. Well, I tried. It's not like I'm a fan of the idea of dying, so maybe not even I'm in favor of my own argument. It was a bad argument. It sucks, but that's life. As long as we don't have another choice. The only one who haven't... Oh... Let me intervene and take back what I said. No, I need to stop this madness. Wait. I understand how you feel, but... Oh, well. Could you live happily after killing? If you manage to win the game and get out of here, will you be able to live with the guilt? A harsh question, but a needed one. I was just like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's what you have to think in these situations, right? We first met less than an hour ago. There's some people here that I just don't see myself getting along with, but none give off the look of a psycho. We all know that whatever happens, our lives won't be the same after this. But that doesn't mean death is the best option. But yeah, that's what I thought they were gonna say. That's why I chose the other one. I'm not so sure everyone here would feel guilty. You calling me a psycho? Uh-oh. Chill, kid, I wasn't referring to you. Although, with that reaction... You calling me a kid? What? Are you actually 20 or something? Really gonna use that plot twist? No, but... Baby then. What? I'm no psycho. I get no enjoyment out of this, and hopefully nobody here does. But this is our reality now. You can't be more aggressive or more passive. You can be more aggressive or more passive, but it is not possible to keep ignoring the game. You can only do that if you already gave up, like the old man. Is it that noticeable? You admitted a couple of times, I think. Look at Cocktail's head. Besides, the hyperactive girl, you sir, seem to be taking this the easiest. I'm the hyperactive girl, right? Wait, who's taking it the easiest? Who is she referring to? Him? It's not that I'm looking forward to death, mind you. Just that I already did everything I planned to do in life. By no means was it the most satisfying life, but it's just the one I had. I don't want these youngsters to take the bullet for someone like me, already on my way to the grave. That's what's fair. I'll defend myself a tad, but not a ton. Can't do much with this pile of old bones anyways. They were never much good in the first place. I get what you're trying to say, Bill. But like Poker said, I prefer living with that weight than dying in this place. That's what I said they were gonna say. I made a wrong choice earlier then. What's wrong with the bar? Then dying in this game. Well, fair enough, I suppose. I don't like it one bit, but that's how it is. I have more than enough reason to want to live, and I imagine everyone else does too. Certainly, we must all do what we can to not stain our hands with blood. While also protecting our very lives, even at the cost of others. Even if you keep saying that it's better than death, that you must protect your lives, that you don't like it. Even if that's all true. Even when everything gets worse and somebody gets desperate, it will all fall apart. In less than an hour, we could all be dead. No survivors. A game like this can corrupt anyone, and even if you survive, what you did will follow you for the rest of your life. Bill spewed out all that he had been holding back, all his thoughts and fears. Oh god. Everyone stared at him, making him more nervous. You know, I'll give you that. Whoever survives will have their life changed forever. That doesn't change my opinion though. I prefer a tormented life to none at all. Maybe I'll go to hell later, but I'm not religious, so it won't keep me awake at night. Even if the winner gets caught and goes to jail, it's still a damn better fate than dying here. How it's always been, a fight for survival. That is the society we have created. Strong survive by preying on the weak. This game is only a smaller scale version, yet more extreme. Oh! Get out of here! Oh boy. Is that really true? You think it's not? You're all assuming something that could be wrong. Enlighten us. What is it, that everyone has to die? A loophole. I like the loophole. The poison could also be a lie. But I like the loophole. But they might not buy that. Loophole. You compared this game to our society. Sure, our society is far from perfect, but I don't see it as a fair comparison. Interesting. Continue. How do I say this? Basically, society has been created through generations going back centuries. But this game apparently has only one creator. Our kidnapper, this owner, they might be a psychopath, sick, crazy. But they are human, and no human is perfect. So, before you throw yourselves into playing this game seriously to survive at the cost of others, maybe we should look for the possible mistakes that might exist. Yeah, that's a good argument. There might be a way for all of us to get out of here alive, breaking the game from the inside. Shock. Did you not think of, try and think if we could? Dart's eyes opened with clear surprise, which he unsuccessfully tried to hide. This seems good, no? The rest of the group also seems shocked. Is everyone on board with me now? It was obvious once said out loud, but nobody seemed to have realized yet. Put in such a situation, so distinct from anything they had lived before, they had instinctively jumped to one conclusion. This seems real. It's too elaborate to be false. Getting carried away by negativity, or for whatever reason, they had taken the owner's words as if they were absolute truth. Such a saying could only appear in fiction, never in real life, so the only insight they could have was through that fiction they could gain. A group of strangers are forced into playing a game where they have to kill or be killed. Traps or strategies to win dirty were the only alternative. No work of fiction will let the characters avoid the game entirely and escape without participating. There would be no loophole, no error in the jail they had been locked in. That's why automatically, unconsciously, they had to reach that conclusion. Oh! Bravo, young man. Maybe this youth is more promising than I believed. You, at least, could have a brilliant future. If we get out of here, of course. That's the third time you've made that joke! That last bit wasn't needed, Gramps. I have to admit defeat. I hadn't considered that possibility. Hell yeah! Whew, that was close. Me neither. Sadly, I think I'm too negative in these types of situations. Feel the unification happening. In these types, does this happen often to you or what? Of course not. It's my first time. Happens every Wednesday. I wake up in a murder game. But where can that loophole be? How do we escape? Swear we gotta put our brains together, kid. I don't know. Then... chill. Let's not crush poor Billy Bill with so much responsibility. Maybe we can find something together. Exactly, I'm not saying it will be easy or even that this way out absolutely exists. We gotta try though before we start killing each other. Yeah, we can't give up without trying. Sounds good, but I honestly wouldn't know where to even begin. But I admit defeat in this debate, and with pleasure. Everyone seems to have come to our side. As long as we can trust no one's gonna accuse. No game is perfect, and with this level of complexity, even more likely that there's some huge mistake. Yeah, we just need to sit and look at the rules and figure it out. I won't retract my words, but I agree with that. In that case, we could declare the council done, but before that, someone needs to lie about their number. Who will take the fall? I think I can do it. Oh, rule 3, duh! Silly me, forgot already. We never reached any conclusion. Just because we agree about the game doesn't mean we do with the other proposal as well. Shit. My victory though! Ah. It was kind of hinted we might have to step up first. I say yes. Ball, you have my vote. Not accusing, I mean on this. Don't accuse me. Thanks, I guess, but the name... Letting chance decide would be fair. You like a bit of luck, right? I give my support as well. That's 3. Well, 4, including me. Okay, fine. Let's just do it. That's 5. That's half. I have one condition. What? I will agree to your proposal, all of it, with one condition. Yeah, what's the condition? Tell me. As a show of confidence in your own idea and to prove that you are truly ready to take a risk for it, I go first. I knew that. I'm willing to do that. We will decide the order at random, but you will be first by default. You mean... Billions, tell us what is your number? That's fine, we just do it. That's gonna raise again when I do it. His heart started to pound violently. This is just my tension. No, that had been the case during all the council, but he hadn't realised until that moment. It was simple. He only had to give out a number from 1 to 10. I don't know! Oh shit, yeah, I don't know which... Okay, I could say... I could pretend to like black coffee. And I could say that I'm number... 7. Oh shit. But there was one huge problem. I got too lost in my own thoughts. If for some reason his lie was discovered, he couldn't give his real one. He didn't know it. which meant that if for everyone else being discovered was a death penalty, for him it was the execution itself. But Darts was right. If he wanted to be taken seriously, he had to show his resolve and take a step forward. It would help get their trust. It would protect them. But he didn't aim to participate in that game. He didn't want to mistrust anyone, to see them as potential killers. Whoever's number we pick will know that we definitely lied. He wanted to keep a positive outlook and not fall in the hands of the mastermind behind the game. That situation, that fear of death, was exactly what the owner sought. If his life was of equal value to the rest, the choice was obvious. However, if his own life was more important, or maybe he should look at it as a necessary sacrifice so he could later reach the perfect end he yearned for. Even so, taking that step, jumping into the unknown, was something that only few were mentally capable of. Billiards was a normal guy, nobody special, just another person. He was no hero, no daredevil, not the type to jump into danger. Could he really put his life at stake for everyone's sake? We have to. He had to give an answer. Yes. My number is... Oh, that was the worst one we could have said, though. 1. 1 was the worst one. Congratulations. All prison players have overcome the first hour. As a gift, the antidotes for the next hour will be delivered shortly. Drinking them as soon as advised to avoid secondary effects, something something. Chapter end. Why did we say 1? Because then people would be confident they weren't going to get killed because we are the killer. But we're not the killer. And if anyone wanted to get rid of the killer, they're going to get rid of us. We made bad choices. I didn't get to choose that in my defense. Another day? There's more? Okay, I'll see what this says. I don't think there's going to be much more. He had gone through that daily routine for a while now. Get up early, go to work, eat, go back to work, get home, eat again, sleep. His salary wasn't much, but not too low either. It was enough to get by, and the job was decent. That was the first step. In time, he would have enough money saved up for the second, and he would soon get there. Just a bit more. The problem would be the third step, and the fourth, and the fifth. What future awaited him? What did he really want to do in his life? Even back then, he already felt satisfied with the path he had taken. Without a grand dream nor a great ambition, it was a journey with no destination. Was that good enough? Sometimes he wondered if he really could live like that forever. With enough money, he could try to get a career, but which one? Nothing especially called out to him. Nothing sounded especially bad to him. For years, he had focused on reaching that point, where he could live by himself without depending on others, without bothering others. He had reached it. His dream was his present life. Now he needed a new dream. And yet, no matter how much he tried, he had found none that could fuel his passion. He wasn't depressed about it. He hadn't lost sleep over it. But that uncertainty, that doubt, had embedded itself in him, resurfacing every now and then with a growing frequency. Maybe because of it, to avoid obsessing over it, he had focused so much on his routine. It was a safe space, something he didn't need to worry over. That uncertain future still hadn't arrived. Maybe it never would. Truce. 1 a.m. I think this might be the end of the demo then. Oh, it's not! My number is 1. That was his decision. The chapter changes during the council. Everyone's reaction was instantaneous. Not so much because of the number he had chosen, but because he'd taken Dart's deal. But why 1? The data he had received confirmed to him that he didn't have 1, 5, 7 or 9. Among those safe choices, he had gone with 1. The most powerful beyond question. Giving out that number meant that others could be sure he didn't have the ability to kill anyone directly. Oh, because they all know that I'm lying? Okay. Oh! Man, I can't... Like I said, I can't tell the difference between a rule and not a rule. I just can't... I can't keep track of that stuff. But even so, with that decision, he had put his life on their hands. As Jin put it, any one of them now had the chance to accuse him of being Rule 1, forcing him to reveal his real one. But they couldn't do that without proof though, right? And if that happened, he wouldn't be able to answer and would be eliminated. Which nobody knew. Even so, his words seemed to have convinced them, for now at least, to search for an alternative that required no deaths. Or perhaps they had just honoured his bravery. I gotta say, in real life, I would not trust a room of strangers with my life. Ever. Either way, nobody initiated an accusation, and Dart had no choice but to completely accept his proposal as promised. From then on, an oath fulfilled to fulfill Rule 3 in an order to be decided at random would have to be followed. Moreover, no one could be forced to share their real number by proving they lied. And with that, they manually concluded the council with their barman. It was then that a message arrived from the owner, the mastermind. They had to take their antidotes, but there were a few minutes left until the end of the hour, when they were distributed. Well, that wasn't so bad, was it? Lime stood up and stretched her arms. Nobody answered. It could be so much worse if people start dying. I'll admit, I didn't expect you to accept. You have my respect, especially with your choice of number. Thanks? But if we don't find a way to escape sooner or later, we'll have to play the game for real. If someone takes the first step, everyone will have to follow in order to survive. That's the thing, right? But we took the first step on being trusty. So, can number 2 help us out? That's the thing. Going outside and seeing what's out there. Coffee's voice was low, almost a whisper, but her words had weight. It could be said that Bill managed to form a truce, but it was a fragile peace. Peace hanging only by the thread of hope. Then when do we decide that order, and how? We should probably do it now. Then let's go. Rock, paper, scissors. What's with your obsession with that game? Anyone got a better idea? We're already playing a game, so let's not get too crazy. Nothing beats the classics. Works for me. What, we having a tournament? Let chance decide. Some didn't seem as convinced with the idea, but the majority had chosen and nobody had any better ideas. Minutes later, the order had been decided. Bill, as the bystander, wrote down in the notes section of his barman. So the results in order are... How did they just organize a full-on rock, paper, scissors tournament to decide this order? Okay, cigar, cocktail, poker, vodka, coffee, and hour 6 is the time that things start changing, right? Lime. By council 7, you would presume Lime is going to start taking it a bit more seriously. Darts. The kid is right near the end. And then Gin, the last one. How can I be this unlucky? You're really bad at rock, paper, scissors, huh? You can't be bad at a completely luck-based game. As for me, I can't say I'm lucky after I ended up in this place. Yeah, imagine being unlucky enough to end up there, but then winning the luck-based game tournament. I need to get out of here ASAP. The less far we get down the list, the better. But if it's your turn, you do it. Oh. If it's your turn, you do it. Easy for you to say when you're near the end, kid. Not a kid. No fighting now. Alright, so now what? We should go take our antidotes. The drinks should be on the counter. Yes, please. I need something strong. Like a shot of bleach? I once read a novel with a murder where the killer used detergent to do it. Don't give me that look. It was a joke. I wasn't talking about killing you. Man, people lost their sense of humor. Weird novel, I know. Sequel was better. Everyone else began to rise from the table, heading to the counter. For the time being, they would leave the place just as it was, for use in future councils. A small, empty cry came from behind Bill. He immediately turned around and saw vodka lying on the floor. Are you okay? Is the poison getting to him quicker than everyone else? Everyone still around ran to him. Still breathing, so I'd say I am. This body isn't what it used to be. Well, never was one for sports. Who am I kidding? Did you trip or something? There was nothing to trip on, though. The phantom banana peel is back with a vengeance. No, my body simply went poof, and here I am now. Just my age, nothing to get surprised over. This stuff just happens sometimes. Even so, something was off. Bill put a hand to Vodka's forehead. Just as he feared, it was hot. A fever? No, this has got to be the poison. Or maybe... Are you sure that's all it is? I think this is confirmation that the poison is real. Truth be told, I'm sorry to say that I'm not a doctor. A shocker, I know. Although my head is the one that's really in shock right now. Everything's hazy. It has to be the poison. Oh, now that you mention it, that could be it, yeah. Did you just forget about it? Then it's true. We really are poisoned. I feel slightly off as well, but that's about it. It would make sense for someone of his age to be weaker to the poison, however. We must hurry. Get this man an antidote. Yo, Billin, help me carry him. Putting their strengths together by each grabbing his shoulder, they raised them up. By the time they got to the counter, the drinks were already on it, waiting for them. They came down from that lift over there. Oh, is there like a dumbwaiter thing? Would be nice if we could use it to get out of here. Too small though. Maybe a piano can fit in there. It doesn't seem like there's a way to turn it on from here. Maybe the kid can fit. Hey! What? Don't know, have you tried putting him on it? We could give it a shot. I'm too big to fit in there. That aside, he could get hurt. Don't pressure him. Cigar is taking on a bit of a maternal role for piano. What should we do? No, what we should do, and quick, is drink the antidotes. Cocktail pointed to the tray with the drinks. Each one has a name on it. And showed the glass in his hand, already empty. Poker. Okay, so it's just a drink ready-made given to them. At least it's not an injection. I can say, whoever made my cocktail had good taste. Cocktail took a sip of the one with his name. It was a small glass of only a few centimeters containing a transparent liquid. Due to its lack of colour, the cherry on top stood up more. What if it's just water? Could be a placebo. Probably not, but you know. The man's face wrinkled as the liquid went through his throat. Okay, probably not water. And Nere Chapito. While I can't say one way or the other about the production quality of these cocktails, I can guarantee that this vodka is very good indeed. Well, they're literally giving the antidotes in a cocktail. How very nice of you to say, young lads. I am very nice indeed. Age didn't take everything away from me. A sense of humor is vital in life. A small chuckle escaped from Cocktail's lips before they bit into the cherry. Each drink was different, and at a glance, they seemed to be made with everyone's taste in mind. Is there any black coffee there, though? This is where it's come down here. Once again, they were showing they'd done their research on them, though that wasn't the most pressing issue at the moment. Oh, hold on. Who was that cocktail? Oh yeah, so it didn't name that there. Okay. How do I get back out of this? He started to feel a moderate headache. His vision had become somewhat blurry, and he even had a slight feeling of nausea. It hadn't reached the point of being serious yet, but the poison had begun to show its form. They had to take the drinks with the alleged antidote before their states worsened, so they could survive for at least one more hour. Bill and Lime managed to sit down vodka on one of the stools and gave him his drink, which appeared to be some sort of, yes, vodka. Getting drunk in that situation didn't seem like a great idea, but he had no other choice. I mean, we have to drink a cocktail every hour. That'll keep us topped up. Bill took his glass. He didn't know much about the subject, so he had no idea what cocktail he was about to drink. But his life was more important, so he downed it in a single go. It had citric taste. Lemon, not bad. Well, I think that's what I would have as well. Little by little, he began to feel the slight headache diminishing until it was gone. A few minutes later, everything went back to normal. He even felt pretty good, though that might have been partly due to the drink itself. Everyone looked to be the same, but he decided to ask anyway. Did you notice the effect of the poison? I felt nauseous on the way here, and then I had some chills. Maybe I was just nervous, but... No, I noticed something like that too. Almost threw up. Now there's no question about it. It's gone so dark. If we don't find another way, our only option is to play the game. They had come across several hurdles during the council, but by drinking the antidotes, they had officially made it past the first hour. All numbers were still alive. That included the problematic ones like 3 and 4. For the game to end and recover their freedom, only 3 of them or less have to remain alive. So said the core rules of the game. One by one, the rules had to fall. Billy still couldn't accept it. It wasn't blind optimism. He wasn't expecting any magical solution to appear in front of them. He wasn't even expecting the rescue team to arrive. What could be considered the ideal outcome? In essence, he wouldn't give up until every possibility was explored. Whatever was the most realistic option, or whatever their odds, didn't matter to him. It didn't matter that they were strangers, or even what he thought of them. He'd managed to bring them to his side for now, or so it seemed. It was far from a victory. In fact, he could feel the ground crumbling not far behind him. The worst-case scenario was coming. He had no way of knowing how long that truce would last. He had to hurry. All rules had been placed on the board. The game asked for them to be brought down, but to Bill, the real endgame was to overturn the board itself. A distant goal, perhaps. Perhaps an impossible one. One beyond optimism, beyond the game. But he would stretch his arm until he reached it. I wondered if we have our... Oh, that's not even what I was looking for. How do I get out of this? I was just wanting to check. Oh, can we get another data? I guess we've got to do it when it lets us. Although we're not supposed to be playing the game. Get away from the data. 38 minutes for the next council. The notes. I've never written a diary before, but I guess I might as well use this if I have it. Maybe it helps. We've been here for about an hour in this bar. The first council went okay, more or less. No, I can't really say it went perfectly okay, but it could have been much worse. I had to put this risk on myself, but thanks to that, now it seems we've got a deal. Not everything is lost. There is hope. Still don't know how we'll survive this, but I'll keep thinking. This is the order we've decided to follow for Rule 3 in each council. Okay. What I was actually looking for... We should check the rules. Still no marking. Oh, wait, what is this? Intended killing is forbidden, except with accusal or being a spy. Any indirect conscious involvement in a killing, an accomplice is against the rule. There's clarifications on these rules. That is also not what I was looking for. Not link. Not messages, not data, not council. Where is it? Objective. Find a new hint. We got the Explorer one. Cool. But we're keeping them to ourselves, right? Anyway, though, right? I am gonna have to leave that there because this is probably the longest indie showcase that I have ever done. And that always happens with visual novels. It's fine. I wanted to experience as broad as I could of what the game is gonna be. Now, from what I can tell, it kind of seems like the game isn't about making choices to get everyone to survive, except in those council bits. So it seems quite linear so far, but I don't know how much they plan to branch it. But so far it seems quite linear, but I'm very into the story. I want to find a loophole, you know? Ooh, I really like this menu as well. It's like a menu. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I am enjoying the entire vibe of the game. I like the characters and I like the game. The thing is, it's awkward for it to... I'm talking about the council game. It's awkward for a video, that one, because of reading out loud. And because of that, I had the wait time on way too long. So there was a gap between every sentence. But that's because I needed it when things started to speed up. So it's a little bit awkward for videos, but I still like it in a gameplay sense. If I was just playing it myself, I would be really sat there focused, you know? But yeah, I'm enjoying the vibes, I'm enjoying the characters. I want to know how the heck we're gonna loophole our way out of this. I want to know if everyone's gonna survive. I'm in. I really like it. I'm really glad it's got funded. And what I believe is a lot of the stretch goal for the Kickstarter is to help with these council scenes, being these like circular motion type stuff, I think. So that's the thing. I mean, you can also just check out their Kickstarter to find out for yourself what they have planned, because they have it all written out really good. But yeah, it's funded. If you would like to fund it some more, then you can head over to Kickstarter and find it there. Beyond R, Rule Ripper. And I think that is about it for the day. I do keep forgetting to do my recommendations section. So if you enjoyed this, I recommend playing Exit Corners, which is a free browser experience. Actually, it's a browser visual novel. It is Exit/Corners, and it is on... Yeah, if you Google it, it is basically, it's hard to explain how to find it because it's not on Steam, it's not on anything like that. It is just on the website, but it is a visual novel with like nearly 30 chapters, I think. You can play it all in your browser, and it is like, it has similarities to this in some ways. So I think that if you enjoy this kind of thing, you can enjoy that too. So I'm going to leave that as my recommendation. Oh, and Game of Fortune. It is like Game of Fortune, F-O-U-R, number 4, Fortune. That is also another visual novel with a game aesthetic, and it is also very interesting. Different, but interesting. So those are the two very indie ones that I'm gonna recommend. Obviously, of course, there's the nunnery games and stuff like that too. So, with that, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I really did enjoy this. I like the aesthetic. I want them to be able to do everything they want to do to make this game as full as they want it to be. And then I would like to come back when it's done and play it. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. Go and give them all the support that you can. And I'll see you next week for some more indie games. Bye bye.